show for the Monero community where all are welcome to join. From noob to maxi, no matter what bags you hold. Just sit back and relax to the sweet sounds of Monero's latest progress. Or if you're feeling inspired, join us on stage. Remember, the only thing that can stop Monero is a false belief that it can be stopped. And if you want to win the revolution faster, we recommend you remove your XMR from all custodial exchanges immediately. Warning, voting accidents are common around here. Don't forget to properly secure your private keys. Monerotopia starts now.
Alrighty. Hello, everyone. And hello to our new friend. I don't even know your name.
I know. What's your name?
You can call me
Lara?
I'm going to put it loud. Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, try to keep it close to your
Yeah.
my name is I'm a content creator.
There you go. Perfect.
Create content about crypto and about trading.
Oh,
Recently, I have made like a video about Monero, so I'm quite used to what it means. Monero. Actually, well, it's dinero, right, in Esperanto.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, that's kind of my story. And now we're in the Labitconf. That's
Yes.
the most important event in the year.
So,
Or-
guys, a little background. Lara literally just walked up to us
'Cause I
as
was
we were
giving
about to
him
go
Monero.
live.
She's like,
We
"Oh,
never
you're-"
met her before. She had heard through the grapevine that we were giving away Monero, so she ran over to get some. We're like, you know what? Just jump on the show. We'll give it to you live on the show. So thanks for doing this. And we found the perfect. You do crypto media.
Yeah. Of
So
course.
you're
I
a natural.
I have my YouTube channel. That's Desencryptada without Y. And well, I promote crypto from a trading perspective and investor's perspective. And yeah, bye. That's my producer.
Is he your assistant?
He's my boyfriend and everything. He's everything.
So you're like the opposite of me and Sunita.
Yeah.
Sunita's the producer
I
of our
run
show.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's the face.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Oh, he's the face.
What- what's my
Nice to
friend?
meet you. I don't know your names either, so
Yes.
it would be.
I'm
nice if you
Douglas.
introduce yourself.
Douglas?
Douglas. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm Sunita.
Sunita. Nice.
Very nice to
Awesome.
meet you. I know. It's
So your
great.
show covers all types of cryptos.
Yeah. It's more my main goal with my YouTube channel. I also have a podcast about CEOs and investors, but that's like a different thing. In YouTube, I mainly talk about opportunities in crypto and, well, how do normal people, especially from Argentina, can access to crypto and actually gain some money from it. I am a trader in futures. I don't know if you know anything about that. But well, my cryptocurrencies, like the one,
And look at the camera so people can
The
see
one-
it too. Yeah.
the cryptos that I usually work with are Monero, Solana, and Bitcoin. So
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's-
So you're very familiar with Monero.
I would say so. Yeah.
That's amazing. So why Monero? How'd you come across Monero?
How I came across Monero? Well, actually, I haven't heard. I didn't hear about the crypto by myself. A group of friends were just trading with Monero, and I said, "Well, what's up with this coin?" What it really caught my attention was that in the historic highs of Monero, it came close to $560, and now it's kind of in $170. So it really kept its value compared to other cryptocurrencies. For example, Solana was in the $20, and now it's a bit higher, but it used to be like $250, and that's 10 times lower. So for me, it's really like a revolution. And then I did some research about the ring firms, the
Ring signatures?
yes, the ring signatures. So to me, Monero is like a really big project, but it has to explode sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm blown away by your knowledge of it. Actually,
Thanks a lot.
just even the fact that you're looking at it from a trading perspective. this is always exciting to see when we come across people that actually know Monero or familiar with it. Is there, because you're local to Argentina, you're local to Buenos Aires?
Yeah, I live here.
Are other people aware of Monero and aware of the fact that it's, you know, a privacy coin and the differences between like Monero and Bitcoin? Do you get that sense? Is the
I
information
think
out there?
it's not talked about enough. There are other coins with a community strong here in Argentina and that talk in Spanish that are a bit stronger. I think it needs to reach up a better community or a bigger community or establish itself here in Buenos Aires, because I don't think enough people know about Monero, in fact, here.
And Buenos Aires, Argentina and Buenos Aires in particular is so ripe for crypto adoption, given the state of the
used
fiat
to be in
system.
the top 10 of adoption. Then we got kind of kicked out because we are not enough people. But actually, Argentina, due to its political issues and restrictions, it's a very big adopter of the crypto technology. And actually, it solves lots of our problems. But there are lots of people here against progress. So I don't know how much time it will get us to reach that point where crypto technology is at the same level as a governmental state agency, for example. But and with Monero, the thing is that the privacy and anonymity.
That's tough for even for even English speakers to say. Anonymity. No
when I looked up for the solution that the project had given to the privacy thing, I was like, hey, this is like so simple. Like you're just hiding away the real signer between a bunch of random people. And like, why didn't someone came up with this earlier? Well, for me, it was like that point of, it is quite simple. It is a simple solution for a problem that people haven't thought about it before.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't realize too is Satoshi Nakamoto himself spoke about that as being a potential solution in the early days. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, I saw that in your research lab you have like 3 white papers, and one of them, particularly the one about CryptoNode, has those side notes about the Satoshi original white paper and the solution that it was given.
Yeah, she's done her research. This is very impressive. And
I like the
nice,
research.
very nice.
We're so glad we ran into you.
No, it's great that we ran into you.
The
It's
reason
so
we're
right.
down here.
But things happen for a reason.
That is true. Oh, because I gave, I guess it was your boyfriend Monero.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, because he came to me and I was like, oh, do you want some free Monero?
Yeah,
for
I
the Steve
also
Cake wallet?
want some free Monero.
So then she
That's
ran
right,
to
don't
me.
worry.
So there you go.
I think I earned my
You
Monero.
definitely earned your Monero. And please tell other people you know that are out there that are here that might want to come.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, here we love free money. It's not an issue.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
The reason we came to Buenos Aires is for these reasons we're talking about. We saw that there's this organic growth that's taking place with crypto, because out of a real need, right? People are trying to move out of the peso to something that's less volatile than the peso. It's hard to believe that crypto is actually a better, less volatile and a better,
There are actually examples of projects that are imitating the Argentinian peso. And I don't know why would someone want to do that, but we have like our own crypto peso if you want to. But yeah, we have a great volatility in the backward sense that crypto has. we just keep going lower, and crypto usually keeps going higher.
And people here are so accustomed now to dealing with different currencies. So their local currency is the peso, but most people prefer to deal in dollars or are more accustomed to the dollar, feel safer receiving the dollar for large transactions like real estate. So they're used to moving in and out of different currencies. You have these, what are the underground exchanges called? The
arbolitos.
Cuevas? Or
Cuevas. Yes.
You want to quickly explain to people what a cueva is?
Yeah, sure. I mean, a cueva, okay, for some context. In the legal way, you can only buy up to $200 per month, and you need to fulfill certain parameters like having all your income in a legal way, in white, we say, transparent way, like from a job, for example. But some people, and most of the people here in Argentina, we have 50% of informal jobs. So most of the people have money, but they cannot buy from a bank dollars. And even if they could, maybe they don't want the state to know that they have the dollars because you have lots of tax in that. So this solution that's going around here in Buenos Aires from years and years, it's called a cueva, and like a cave, and you go to a place. The first step is go to Florida Street and encounter an arbolito. That's a woman or a man that's just saying out loud, dollar, euro, change. You go and walk by if you have the chance. Maybe in the week you can go.
Yes, we're definitely going to go.
Yeah.
Somebody
And
went
you
for
listen
us
to them.
already on our behalf to
Yeah.
do some exchanging.
And you walk up to them and you tell to them, well, I want to change, I want dollars. And they take you to a place like a local, like a commerce, and you give them your pesos, they give you the dollars, and you need to be aware of the exchange rate of the date. You can check that in dollarhoy.com. It's always the rate there if you want to check the web. We even have the crypto dollar there in the exchange rate. So you check there how many pesos is a dollar, and then you just buy them, and that's it.
Right, and to be, Sunita, did we lose connection? Tux, can you hear us?
Yeah, I still hear you guys. It's just the camera feed is down.
All right, yeah, we'll fix the camera. And to be clear, there's different exchange rates, right? Because you have the official exchange rate between the peso and the dollar. Then you have the blue. What do they call it? The blue dollar?
We have more than like $20 to $50 rates here. You have like a tourist dollar. You have a Qatar dollar. You have a soya dollar. That's for importation and exportations. You have the blue dollar. That's the parallel market.
Yes.
This thing about the caves and the trees.
Yes, and that's where you get the best rate
That's where you get
for U.S. people.
No, actually, nowadays I think the best rate is the tourist dollar, but it's not a dollar that you can buy. It's
When you use
a
your
kind
credit
of
card.
change. Yeah,
Yes.
the kind of change you get when you buy something in dollars. That's from like a software page, for example. I have paid softwares this month that were like $49, but I didn't pay in dollar blue the cost of dollar blue. That's almost 1,000 pesos.
Yes.
I paid like 700 pesos per dollar. That's a big difference right there.
Right. Well, no, 1,000 pesos is better. From the standpoint of an American, if I'm exchanging my dollars.
Yeah, but if you're paying in pesos, the,
Yes, if you're
the
paying-
rate of
yeah,
tourist
yeah,
dollar
yeah.
is much better.
So from my experience, and Andres gave us some insight, but I guess I didn't pick up on everything. The best thing to do for like a tourist that's coming here to Buenos Aires is to bring crisp $100 bills,
yes.
and actually the newest ones, not even
Yes,
There's-
because
there's even a
they are very
difference
tacky. Yeah, they
in
are very picky with
fungibility
that.
and exchange rate there.
Mhm.
So newer $100 bills are actually worth more. So
Yes.
they may be worth 1,000 pesos, and an older $100 bill may be worth 900 pesos, for example.
Yes.
But the best exchange rate you get is if you bring your cash, you find one of these cuevos,
Yes.
you exchange your blue dollars. Why do they call it blue? Because
Blue?
they look blue.
Actually,
Because-
not really sure.
Yeah.
I think about the color of the paper.
Yeah, I guess because
Because
it has
the
some blue in it.
original are like green,
Yeah,
and this parallel thing is not
right.
like green. It's not transparent or legal.
Yeah.
It's blue.
But for whatever reason, they call it blue. So
Yeah.
you bring your cash, crisp cash straight from the bank, and that's how you get the best exchange rate.
Yes.
But yeah, the second and best exchange rate I've experienced was using your credit card,
Yes.
particularly the Visa network, and because you get the tourist rate, like you were
Yes.
saying. And
That's
so when you use that, it's still good. The worst rate you can get is the official exchange rate between the
Definitely.
dollar, and it's significantly worse. It's like a third
Yes.
of the value.
But it can actually, like, you can never get it at that price. Why? Because the government tells you, yes, it is like at 400 pesos, $1.
Yeah.
But, and there's a big but here, it's charged with lots of taxes.
Right.
So like over that price, you have like 70% of taxes.
Yes. Yeah.
And at one point, usually, the price of the official dollar with the taxes is the same as the dollar blue.
Mhm.
But nowadays, the dollar blue is much higher than,
Yes.
than those taxes. You
Yes.
know? So an employee, a normal person that has a job, normally has their salary. They change it all the quantity that they can with the bank at an official rate, and then they go to the cueva and they change all the things that are left around.
Yes. And I realize we're looking at it backwards, because for you, the lower the pesos per dollar is better, right? Because you're thinking in pesos,
Well,
so you want to
actually,
get as many dollars as you can. If you're buying something online, for example, that's valued in dollars, you want it to be, 400 pesos to the dollar versus 1,000. Whereas me, from the perspective of somebody with a dollar coming here to acquire pesos, I obviously want the higher exchange rate for dollars to pesos. But I guess, point being is the culture here is one where they're intimately familiar with the devaluation of fiat over time.
Definitely.
And familiar with the concept of moving in and out of the peso into other currencies. And it seems like they're moving towards being ready to well, obviously dollars, right? You have Milei.
Milei is actually approaching the statement that he wants to do like a dollarized economy.
Yes.
In some places of Latin America, it's currently like that. In Ecuador, for example, but the thing like that, it's we can do it. Basically, at a ground level, we are already dollarized because our homes are paid in dollars.
Yes.
You cannot go to a real estate agency and buy a department with pesos. They don't get it. And also the cars. If you want to buy a car, it's valued in dollars. You can have a car for $3,000 and it would be like a normal rate. But if the dollar goes up and the peso devalues itself, well, you need to get obviously more pesos to buy the same thing. So for us, like in an everyday way, it's better to have dollars.
Yes. And so we're thinking of doing the next Monerotopia conference. It's a Monero conference down here in Buenos Aires.
Oh my God.
That's why we came down here, to do a little recon.
Awesome.
Meet people like you that are local and into Monero, spread the word. And like you said, we need more community development down here. Work with Andhres, who'll be jumping on in a second. He's one of the creators of the Monero wallet. I don't know if you're familiar with
Monero
wallet.
Monero. No,
Yes.
I don't know. What's that?
He'll tell you. He'll tell you in a second. It's one of the apps you can use for holding and sending.
It's like a
Monero.
wallet.
It's a wallet.
Okay.
Yep. So we're looking to do the conference down here maybe like a year from now.
Awesome.
In Buenos Aires.
I want to come.
Yeah, that would be great. We'd love to maybe get you to help us
set the ground.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Oh, I would love to. Yeah,
Awesome.
Of course. You can follow me in my socials.
We definitely
we'll definitely follow each other.
You should come to our meetup on Sunday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We're having like a local Monero meet just to meet people locally that are into Monero.
Oh, great. Yeah, you can tell me the details.
In Vive Cafe.
In where?
Vive Cafe.
Okay. I don't know,
You
but
didn't know.
I will go.
It's in the Parma.
Palermo.
Palermo district, Parma.
Okay. It's a really nice neighborhood.
Yeah, really, really nice.
So that's our objective, coming down here, meet people that are Monero curious, and then make connections and hopefully throw this conference a year from now.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. And 1 year from now, Monero will be valued like in $600.
All right. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I hope so.
All right.
That'd be nice.
That would be great.
Nice.
Keep saying that.
One of the things we like to do with the conference, because we did the last one we did in Mexico City, and it worked out really well. A big part of the conference was we had a marketplace tied into the conference.
Nice.
Like vendors, local vendors.
Okay.
That were
we have. I think there are some people here like selling merch, like sweaters.
Well, no, like even like selling honey or selling food or selling homemade crafts or selling, even
Actually,
things that are a little more interesting.
Some sort of luck in this convention because I came here yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was raining like
All day.
awfully.
Yeah.
Yes. And the only way to get food was to get outside. And I was like, I'd rather not eat and stay here.
And I don't even think they accepted Bitcoin when you bought the food, did they? I didn't wait in line because it was raining.
But that's like a great point to, actually implement in a crypto conference because it would be the most normal thing to get an alliance with a wallet or a exchange from here and say, well, we give you a bit of Monero and pay with Bitcoin.
Right,
or
exactly.
Monero,
and we promote the usage and adoption of it.
I was just saying, if it's
I'm
not
sorry,
chain
what, Tux?
transaction, you're going to pay as much for your food as you do to send the Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. If
Bitcoin,
you're using Bitcoin to send, right? It's like,
like
$4 for a transaction or something. Using Lightning Network,
Yeah, $10 to send it.
$10.
How much is a transaction in Monero? Because I have actually never.
Like a fraction of a cent.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's like, I don't know, 10 pesos.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right? I might be getting that wrong. It's less. How many pesos is it? Like 1 peso. It's like 1 peso. Which is basically 0. But yeah, so that's the plan, and we want to integrate that marketplace into the conference.
Well, that would be very nice.
Yeah, any ideas on locations you might have?
Location? Well, most of the conferences I go to, they are located in the SEC. It's just in front of the College of Law here in the law.
Oh, we passed that last night.
Yeah. Thanks to our tour guide.
Yeah, the SEC. It's actually a place for lots of conferences. This year was used a lot. And if not, you can go to Usina del Arte in Labitconf.
Okay.
It used to be like a factory, but there you have like a very big place to put some food, little shops of food.
Oh.
And actually you have 2 main stages if you want.
That sounds good.
Definitely
That sounds
take a look at
perfect.
that.
So it depends on what you want.
What we want.
Awesome. Well, let us send you the Monero.
Oh,
Yeah, I came here for a different.
Yeah, I know. We're really taking
bye.
advantage of it. Just give me my freaking Monero.
Yeah.
And we'll bring Andres on. Andres, you want to jump on?
Oh, he's ready. He has a thing. Oh, yeah, the mic's right there.
Yeah. You can jump on.
This is like, I don't know what to
You can put it here.
There you
Let's
go.
get Andres in frame if you can.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, I guess let me
I could
fix the...
scoot over a little bit.
No, I'll just move the camera.
There he is.
Oh, wait, but you're muted. Now you're here.
Andres.
Hold
His
on.
mic is
I'm going
off.
to fix the camera.
Oh, there it is.
Look
It's
like
really
we're...
quiet.
Okay, we'll fix it.
Now?
Andreas.
Hello.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hello.
You sound good to me.
Now, here I am. How is everybody?
Tux, does he sound okay?
Oh, yeah, just a little quiet.
I never sound okay. Not even in my house I sound okay. You
that's
always
good.
have the same issue.
Well, you guys are in a...
No, sir.
The conference
Thank you.
is huge.
Yeah, baby. ASMR Monero. I hear myself very loud.
No, but it's great.
It's okay. It's
Do
okay.
you have headphone monitoring on?
Andres
Yeah, it sounds fine.
is the king of Monero in Chile.
What's up?
King of Monero.
Oh, King of Monero. We're hearing it.
We used to have a CEO of Monero,
Yeah.
and we got
Now
rid
you're
of
the
that,
king.
and now
Yeah.
I'm the
Yes.
king.
Yeah.
Now you're the king.
From worse to even
for
worse.
all of South
Yes.
America. For all
I
of
am the South American king of Monero. Yes. I was already happy with the Argentinian king of Monero in South America. You promote me to a lot of different countries. That's cool.
So we should say Andres gave a Monero talk yesterday at
And it was
Labitconf.
packed.
It was packed house.
Yes, I did. Thank
Lara, were
you
you
everybody
there, Lara?
everybody that came to the talk.
Oh, I wasn't in the talk. What was it about?
Mr. Guess it was about Monero.
But what about Monero? Like, what specifically?
No, it was like a
about Monero?
general talk about Monero,
Okay.
introduction to Monero,
Okay.
and some of the differences between Monero and Bitcoin, of course, because that was the angle that they were looking for.
But I thinking about that.
Yeah. She's beyond that. She's beyond that.
Yeah.
But you had a packed house, which was exciting to see.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see that. I was very happy. We were a bit worried that nobody knows about Monero, and nobody. I mean, we already know that not many people know about Monero today, but it was surprised that many people care about
learning
Monero.
about
So that was a nice thing, and especially even better that some people actually had questions after the talk, or approach outside of the, not in public, so to speak.
What type of questions?
In a
were you
very
getting?
Monero fashion. I mean, not speaking out loud about Monero, but it's just after the fact coming down, and it's like, okay, can I ask you a question about Monero? So yeah, it was super fun.
Secretly.
What type
Secretly.
of questions, concerns people have?
Some of the questions were about mining, for example, practical questions about mining, how profitable mining was here, or how approachable it is because, yeah, with the imports, taxes, and for the CPUs and all that.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for another guest that was supposed to come
okay,
over here.
okay.
No, keep going. I'm listening to you.
Ah,
I'm listening
okay.
to you. I'm not ignoring
They're
you.
coming to get the banner.
Yes,
Yeah, they're coming.
The police is coming.
Yeah, we should say that. So we've
Oh, yeah,
been a
by the
bit. We've done kind of our usual guerrilla marketing at these
Yes.
conferences, and
True guerrilla for their taste.
we're officially here as media, but we had a little banner that we
Yeah.
put up to represent
I don't think you can
ourselves.
see it. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Wow, you
Yeah.
can't see it.
the Klaus Schwab banner, where they could eliminate, they
Yes.
could kill cash, but they
Oh, I
can't
saw the
kill
pictures of
Monero.
that on Twitter.
And people,
But they can kill the banner. They
Yes.
can kill the banner.
but they killed the banner. I don't know the BTC maxis. That'll
So
make like
next year, please make a banner that says they may kill a banner, but they can kill Monero.
So they took,
Rush, right? Get your Monero soon before they take down this banner.
yeah, they took it down twice.
This banner. Yeah, they took it down twice. So
But
with
it's
the
a very
third
good
time.
slogan, actually.
So
Yeah.
if you want to scan
And
one of these,
This is the QR code.
yeah, yeah,
yes,
this is the
yes.
QR. So if your app,
This,
items-
this,
and the second time, they weren't so friendly about it.
no, they weren't. So third time, I was like, I don't want to get
Took it
kicked out of
down. I
the
want to
conference.
set it on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah. They literally said that.
That's literally what they said. They're like, if you put it up one more time, I will set it on fire. And then with the smile, an evil smile. I was like, okay.
As an Argentinian, I must say that setting something on fire doesn't sound as bad as it sounds.
No,
in
no, no,
English.
exactly. I know. I laughed. Yeah, I know. He
Lo voy a
got to
prender fuego el
yeah,
banner.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So
exactly.
like I laughed, but then I was also scared.
I will say Monerotopia is the opposite vibe as this in those regards, right? I
Yes,
mean, it's
yes.
about people coming, participating in any way you want, as long as you're not being a nuisance. This is very, very corporate. I don't know if it's. I imagine Labitconf wasn't always like this, but
I wasn't here on the first years, but and it used to be the case that Labitconf is considered as a Latin American crypto conference. So they used to move from country to country every year. So it was one year in Uruguay, the other is in Colombia,
Right.
the other year. I think this is the first time that they had 2 years in a row in Buenos Aires.
yeah, which I hope
So
they
I don't
do
know
it
if
again.
I don't
Buenos
know
Aires,
if they do it again next
because
year.
you want to do it alongside them.
But
Um,
according to the people that actually organizes, yes, it got more commercial with the years.
They might stay in Buenos Aires a little bit just because of the adoption that's happening here.
I mean,
It's
it
like
makes sense.
silly to
I mean,
walk
I
away.
like the concept of having it like being Latin America and moving around, so people that may not have the chance to fly it abroad, which is usually pretty expensive for Latin American standards,
Right.
have the chance to have a big conference, a big crypto conference on their country. So
Right.
I think that's a nice goal. But if you ask me purely from a conversion perspective, yeah, Argentina and of course Buenos Aires is kind of like a commercial center of crypto for
Right.
Latin America.
And now is the time where it's
Yes.
really gaining
of
adoption.
course, you
Right.
have Brazil and Mexico as well, but Argentina specifically because of our money issues
Yes.
and our history with inflation and with currency controls, you have like a big crowd.
Yes.
I mean, and you have very early adopters here of crypto in general.
Yes. Yeah. We met a ton of people. First off, so yeah, it may be kind of seemingly corporate, and it is with all the
And it is.
participants. But the attendees are very open.
Now,
to
and these are
engaging.
cool.
The attendees are all like
Yes.
super open to engaging. You approach somebody here, and you ask them, have they heard about Monero? They stop and talk about it. They're not like, fuck you, I don't want to talk to you. Like everybody stops, has a conversation.
Yes.
I don't know if that's also like a Latin American culture thing, but everybody's like very open.
A bit
to,
so, yes.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Latins are just
So
nice,
pretty
nice
much
people.
anybody even without the banner, we're able to just engage with people and get them to download Cake Wallet, send them some Monero. So it's nice in that respect.
The banner was good while it lasts.
It
was a good
It's
thing.
there.
Yes, and to be clear, it said $5. So it's like
People kept coming. Yeah, of course. They're like, what? Free what?
what? $5
Money?
in Monero.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I will take
I
it.
don't care which currency.
Right.
I don't. It's free money, right?
Yeah.
You can just get it to me.
But you try to pull that same move in New York, even if it was like free $20. People
Yeah.
just assume it's like a scam.
You have to
or
adjust
something.
for inflation.
They're like, no, but even if they're just like, I don't want to waste my time. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
like what's the catch?
Nah,
Here,
nah.
people are like, what's the catch? Like, oh, tell me more about it.
Yes,
Like,
and people are psychologically predisposed here to, I don't know, do lines for everything.
yes,
For example, yesterday next to us is the coffee stand,
yes.
and people stand on the line for, I don't know, above
Oh,
half
yeah.
an hour
Yeah,
I
yeah, it's
know.
to
like
have a
normal.
free coffee.
Yeah, they like
It
the
was
line.
it was a really good coffee, but it's like, come on, 30 minutes of your life for free coffee is a
But
bit too much.
You couldn't go outside to get another.
No, you have no. I did the live. I got the coffee. That's how I know that it was good coffee. But for free money, come on, and no lines.
Yeah. Like the line at the pizza place.
Yes.
Last night.
Oh my God, the pizza place.
Where did you go to?
He took us to, where'd you
Ah.
take us?
We went pizza. We never
We
went
never
to
got the pizza.
the pizza
Well, the line was too long.
But every line was.
because it was Friday night
Where did you
in
go, Mary?
Corrientes Avenue,
Yeah,
and
which is
every
like
place was
mini
packed.
Times Square.
And I said, "Yeah, of course, we can go to the Guerrin."
Oh, Gary.
And it was like, yes, I know it's fantastic, but it's like everybody thinks so. So that's a problem.
So everyone was there.
You can go to Los Inmortales. That's right across the street.
Yeah, but then everything was packed. The line was like, oh,
That
we're like
was-
I'm not that desperate.
Yes, but yes, I would be the guy going to the Immortales
Thank
because
you.
I think Guerrin is overrated,
Okay.
in my opinion, especially because of the amount of people that is there.
But it is actually very big inside. It
It's
has, like,
very
3
big.
floors. Yeah,
Yes,
it's giant.
and every floor, they couldn't believe it. Every floor is filled with people, and really,
Packed.
20 minutes, 20 meters of lines outside. It's like, wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
But it's a Friday night
Yeah, it was a Friday night,
at
but it was
10 p.m.
raining and
But it
people
was
still
an
were
awful
waiting.
night.
Yeah,
we do lines for everything. We don't mind.
it's the
We do lines
Argentinian
for
way.
banks. We do lines.
I think that's something very cultural of us, but I think that in the core thing, we don't value our time as much as other people do. Because if not, we would just look for another pizza place and that's it.
That sounds awful.
But that's kind
but-
of the reality.
but yes,
That's
I
interesting.
see your point.
Why is that? You
And I-
think it's just that people aren't aware of the.
No, I think people are used to being diminished by their time, like naturally in an everyday sense. Like you get
they've been
paid
beaten
a
down.
bit
Yeah,
of a bit of dollar and a bit of peso, and
Yeah.
that's
it's the
It's
fiat.
just the way
the
of
thing
life.
to survive.
mindset.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
It's an scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
When do you think we'll start to see adoption of crypto in storefronts, things? I mean, I know there's a few places you could go to here in Buenos Aires, but like, do you think we're gonna hit some kind of tipping point where it's like overnight, anywhere you go, there'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll take some crypto? Because I mean, given the state of the peso, I would think
Ah,
everybody.
you're looking at me.
I think people would be willing to overcome the friction of having to learn it.
Tomorrow, yeah, right now. No, I think. Actually, I think 2 months ago, maybe I would have given you a different answer, and I would say we don't know. Perhaps with slow adoption, circular economy, all that. But right now, due to the political landscape that we are living, we are about to to go through a very special election, presidential election here in 2 weeks, with two, in some ways very similar and in some other ways very different candidates. Believe it or not, depending who you ask about. But both with very radical economic policies in mind. So I think, for example, on one side, please be aware that everything that is said in the war by politicians is taken with a pinch of salt, right? Okay. Even more so here. People will say anything to win. So Argentinians are.
Wow,
I used to
even
not,
worse than
yes,
American
even worse than
politicians?
America.
Wow.
And Argentinians are very used to, like she said, to just say, yeah, but they were like running for office. And it doesn't matter. Whatever they say before the elections, and if they win, we don't take it for granted whatsoever. But that said, for example, one of the candidates is proposing a CBDC, right? So a digital peso initiative. The other candidate is basically proposing dollarization of the economy. So in both cases, they are kind of getting rid of the actual peso currency, one for a total digital one for a foreign one. So I think in both cases, it's kind of like just breaking new in a way. And I think in both cases, crypto adoption, it's a likely scenario. From one reason or another. Either if you actually implement a CBDC and start to control more of the black market. Black market here is above, in some estimates, above the 50% of the economy is in the black market here. So if you press too hard with a CBDC, and you start to really push down from the government, I see crypto adoption going through the roof. Right. And in the other way around, if you just make the market somehow more free and start to liberate some of the barriers that right now you have between crypto and between foreign currencies in and out of the peso, in the other case, you will also see more widespread crypto adoption by people that are kind of worried right now of, I have crypto, but I'm not going to use it.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't want to show it.
Right.
But if you say like, this government doesn't care.
No, there are some use cases with some exchanges that are national that have launched their card, like a credit card, for example, like Lemon Cash, for example. It's exchange that has its own card, so you can use your USDT or your Bitcoin, and you get some sort of mini refund if you do some payments with that. And I think, in my opinion, that's kind of how the major audience will get to know crypto and will get to use it, because they need to see, like, well, what's the benefit in this for me, or a commerce, like, what's the benefit in this for me? Well, you can charge in dollars, for example, and it will be like a really easy and fast way of adoption, because we are already used to contactless credit cards. So you can just put your card off an exchange and pay with dollars at the current exchange rate, and that's it. But there have already been some properties sold in Bitcoin, like contracts where the Bitcoin was accepted as a method of payment. So I think we are not far away from the adoption.
Yeah. If it's not going to happen here, it's not going to happen anywhere, right? Like, this is the true test bed that I've experienced so far.
I think that we have like a first wave of crypto adopters, on early adopters. Most of them were Bitcoiners. Like, I'm talking about 10 years ago or something like that, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
The ONG, the Bitcoin Argentina NGO, sorry.
Yeah.
That's organizing the whole thing. And then after, we have a lot of programmers in Buenos Aires and in Argentina in general. So we have a big Ethereum community as well. So that first wave of adopters is kind of like underground in a way, because for currency controls and regulations, they kind of live off the grid, so to speak. But the second biggest wave of adoption, I agree with her, was fintechs.
Yeah.
Fintechs a couple of years ago pop up like Wiz here. You have Velo, Lemon Cash, Buenbit, Ripio was from.
Well, Binance was here.
Binance was here.
Not much time ago.
Well, Binance were here last year.
Yeah.
Now they're gone.
Well,
but what I'm getting is that you have those exchanges, local exchanges before. They were used just by the same amount of people that were already in crypto, because they were like, okay, selling or buying crypto. But now with this wave, they are giving people debit cards, which is something that people are very used to use. That you can max out or top with crypto, and then you spend in pesos, and that's seen as a very good anti devaluation measure. So you perhaps you get your salary at the beginning of the month, you get it debit in pesos, you buy crypto, whatever you want, or stable coins that are super popular here.
Super popular.
Super popular.
Makes sense.
Because it makes sense because it's, culturally it's like a dollar.
Yes.
People are very aware of the dollar exchange rate every day, basically. So they buy at the beginning of the month, and then what these fintechs used to allow you is to just pay in pesos, and at the moment of payment, they sell your crypto for pesos. So it's that you're like in a way dollarized or protected from the devaluation of the currency up to the very moment that you spend it with your debit card. Right.
So and then you would think they would want to keep it.
So
in the
yeah, of course, for us in crypto, not your keys, not your coins. Those people have no crypto. Right. It's paper crypto. Yeah. But culturally,
for their
yes,
for their use
yes,
case,
yes,
sense.
Position,
yeah.
yes, yeah. They see. And of course, most of those, some of them have more, but most of them just have like Bitcoin, Ethereum, a couple of USDT, USDC, and a couple of more. Depending on the bull market, it's like Dogecoin or something like that. Most of them just stick to the big four in some way or another.
Yeah.
So that's the way that people get exposed to that. And I think it could be a vector of change if you start with regulation to push harder. People really know that crypto exists, and you start to not allowing people to use those crypto for their peso things, and they will try to get out of those changes fast. And they will learn. I say so in my talk that Argentinians are very used to find out alternatives for money restrictions.
We are very resourceful.
Very fast.
Yeah.
Out of need. Right?
Out of need.
And what's really interesting too is you compare it to something like El Salvador, right, where everybody's focused on El Salvador, Bitcoin. Yeah. There's no natural like overwhelming need to adopt crypto in El Salvador. They're trying to push it there, but the fiat situation is nowhere near as bad as it is. I mean, their currency is backed by the dollar, right? So to try to push people into Bitcoin over there, it doesn't even make sense. Whereas over here, there's nobody here pushing it. People here are pulling it. They're out of a need.
I think it makes sense from
moving into it.
I think it makes sense from a marketing perspective because people are used to their own country's currencies being shit.
Yeah.
So you say.
But I'm saying in El Salvador, you don't really have that.
Yeah.
Issue.
So you say, okay, Salvador's a special case because it's okay. You don't have to use your local whatever. Good. In the case of El Salvador, you have the USD. I think you have dollars as well that you can use legally.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we'd rather use that, or at least we'd rather save on that.
Right.
And then you say, well, we are giving everybody a Bitcoin wallet, and it sounds like a Bitcoin wallet.
Right.
But well, since Bitcoin is a kind of slow and kind of expensive, we are giving you like Lightning wallet.
Right.
Okay. Well, it's a custodial Lightning wallet by the government. It's like, okay, so.
I saw a documentary like last week, just like week about it. And the population in El Salvador are not really aware, as we are aware here in Buenos Aires, of the crypto uses and of the power of Bitcoin, and especially about the wallet that they are giving, because they give you a wallet, and if they give you a wallet, they know how much money you have. And that's it. That's like basically against all the decentralized thing about crypto.
I will put it like this: if tomorrow the government says, download Argentina wallet for your Bitcoin.
No. Biggest flop ever.
Yeah. No.
Download my Argentina wallet for your new Bitcoin peso. Everybody is going to be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but you said the free money aspect.
Unless you
money.
Work for the government, which is something that they would do.
And if they give you like
they
social
pay you,
plan,
they pay you only in that way.
Right. Or they give you whatever, $100 even, or even, a more significant amount. But people might.
The tricky thing is that here in Argentina, laws are guidelines. It's a very. I told you yesterday. Yeah. So if things, I think it's comfortable, but it's also very tricky. It's like the devil is in the details in that regard, because as long as they keep it like that, and people feel like kind of free, they adopt anything. You can make like the super Argentina government Bitcoin wallet and say, okay, but the government gives you free Bitcoin, okay, and you can only spend it on these special shops, okay,
Well,
okay.
that happens
As long
with
as I have the other thing, okay.
Right.
And convenience kills everything else. Like, they don't care. Here, nobody asks for an invoice. Nobody asks for like the ticket when you do whatever. You can pay a restaurant in a stack of bills that this high.
Yes.
You know, literally,
Yeah.
you have done it yourself.
I
You
think I have some. I mean, this
Yeah.
is like
Oh, you changed. Oh,
Yeah,
my
we
God,
Yes.
yeah.
On 500s.
That's like $0.000.
we have a whole stack. We have a whole stack at home. And it was like $200 got us like a stack, a wad of cash.
Yeah.
So
So
Americans
you would
would
think
be
that-
rich in Argentina.
Oh yeah. As we were saying at the outset, the best way too is that you bring down crisp $100 bills straight from the bank, the latest edition, right?
Yeah.
Those are worth more than.
They don't have to be stained or broken
Yes.
or anything.
That's
If not,
amazing.
they give you like.
And where do you go
Yes.
to get the non-government rates? Like, I want the better rates. Where do you go to do that?
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about at the outset. They're called
Cuevas, the cuevas.
The cuevas.
Cuevas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cuevas.
Oh, I see.
Which at Monerotopia Argentina, we'll need a section called the
The
cave.
cueva.
Cueva,
For
right?
sure.
Where we'll all be trading Monero for
Like
pesos.
a fake cave,
Oh
actual
my God.
cave.
An
It would be
actual
so
cave.
funny. Yeah.
Like the caves in
Yeah.
Mexico.
An actual cave. Can we
Yeah,
find
the
a
actual
cave
cave.
here to throw the?
No, we don't hike it. Everything is plain. It's just flat here.
Okay.
You have to drive like several hours to find something that
Alright.
sticks out of the ground.
The Formosa? Can we go to?
No, Formosa,
Formosa.
there's nothing in Formosa. I already told you.
That's actually like I think the most boring state. You can choose other states
I
like
know.
Mendoza. You can
Well,
choose like Rio.
We have. I don't know if you've been if you've seen the adoption that's taking place though in Formosa. Are you aware?
Formosa?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah.
It's a long story.
Like in one phrase,
Shorten
can you
it.
shorten
In a short-
There you go.
in a
Can you
short-
shorten it?
I can shorten this. Basically,
Or maybe Tux can pull it off.
If he's on, if he's
I think
listening,
he's on.
Yes. bring him on.
Libertad,
Yes.
gal.
Libertad.
Yeah.
Bring Libertad on.
Yeah,
Alright.
bring him on.
I'll put the link in.
He's
the,
doing amazing things over there.
He wants to talk
for growing
quickly.
adoption. Yes, we can bring him on.
Basically, you have like a
Libertad gal.
soccer team in Formosa in the town of Ibarreta,
Okay.
and they had a couple of guys in Ibarreta that knew about Monero, right? Many of the football players, people in the town,
Or Tux,
were,
if you
were
wanna,
used
like,
to
pull up
make
their,
online bets.
Yeah,
For
show
sports.
the stadium.
Okay.
yeah,
Tux.
show the
In a
stadium.
moment of
I don't
time,
want to do it
in
because I
a
don't
moment
want
of
to.
time, like
the
a couple
internet
of months
to get-
ago, the government of Formosa
That's
rolled
not-
out as illegal
Twitter.
the online bets for
In
sports
pesos.
in pesos, right?
Okay.
So they had to find a
I
way
think if you
to
look
keep
at it like a
Alternative way
betting.
to-
yes. So they turned out to Russian Russian
Oh.
online brokers. I mean, for like XBet, one of those places. So they have to use crypto to fund and to retire the earnings from the betting, the online betting.
I see where
So-
this is going.
Which would be a better crypto than Monero to fund and retire
Totally
earnings from
anonymous.
your not underage the sports betting online, which is funny because we are talking about options all the time, and the good part comes here now that what happens is that basically you always try to make this whole thing like top down, and it was super bottom up because you have total liquidity in the entire town because basically the entire town bets
No.
and uses Monero to bet. So
Well, that's
you
the use case
you
I
got
haven't
Monero
thought about.
accepted in the butchers, in the grocery, in the whatever you
Everyone
want.
wanted Monero.
They say like, oh yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, they just do the conversion.
You can live on Monero in Ibarreta, yes, basically. And the football club got sponsored by the community, and they made T-shirts, like Monero branded T-shirts. Yeah, so the shirt says of the team said Monero, and the Popular has like a big Monero logo painted on it with the names of the
He's trying to
I have
contributors.
to do a video about
Yeah,
that.
he's
It's
gonna
a
try
very,
You gotta
very
bring
funny
it up.
thing.
I mean, it's beautiful what they did there.
to. Ooh, Eso es todo.
So this is the stadium. This is the football stadium.
No kidding.
It's the greatest story of the year.
He used Kuno. I don't
You
know.
want to make it
Are
bigger?
you familiar with Kuno?
No.
He used Kuno to raise funds for Monero. It's like a Kickstarter for Monero.
It's a fundraiser
Where the funds
website.
go directly to the fundraiser.
Here's so me. It's awesome. The video came out awesome.
That's so fucking weird. Okay.
It's crypto Barrani crypto
with a
gaucho.
Monero logo on it.
Yes.
This is organic adoption, guys. This
That's-
wasn't,
some
BTC
very-
maxis rolling into town with the gun to people's head saying, accept Bitcoin. This is this guy out of a need, out of a necessity for gambling, got into Monero, and it slowly started to blossom from there.
Well, for us, like money is money. Like,
Right.
if it's worth something, we will use it.
Money is money.
Yeah. So I want to go because I want to go see this and actually pay my respects to this young gentleman for everything he's doing. But it's so far.
Yeah,
I didn't really like do my homework before coming down here, and I was like, oh, it's in Argentina. How far can it be?
Yeah.
Obviously, I
the
know.
story goes that it's like let's start something of a once in your life you have to go to
Yes.
Formosa and pay tributes to the Monero god
I
and the
think
popular.
You guys are
Thank you.
probably gonna think this is crazy, but who's the other guy? The other individual we met yesterday from Samurai Wallet.
Oh,
That's friends.
Yes, Escuelita Bitcoin.
I think he's gonna jump on, but he's trying to
Is he
convince me to take a bus there on Thursday.
No,
my
don't
God.
take the bus. Don't take the bus.
No,
enjoy.
it's so fucking far. Like
Yes.
you will,
And it's so fucking
you
hot.
will, you will spend more than a day traveling. Yes,
At night, he said there's a night bus.
Yes, of
Sleep on the bus?
course.
yeah. You will never get there.
you will be very well
Anybody I
rested.
talk to in Argentina
I
about going to
love it.
Peru, they're like, no, I wouldn't do it. It's
Just
it's
do
very
it.
hot there, right?
It's very hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go. Like, I'm so close.
You should totally go.
Maybe I'll rent a car and drive a car.
You
with
should definitely.
Yes. That sounds like a
Oh,
better
yeah,
idea
sure.
than just sleeping on a
Yeah, well,
bus.
that's
It's
why they
better
make
idea to
jerseys
just
and
drive
everything.
all night long.
Is
900 kilometers to I know.
Amazing.
I'm just messing with you.
I like an
If you were
adventure,
from
man.
Europe, I will be messing with you. I know that from the US. US is very big, so
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't scare you to say you have to drive for 2 days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to drive for a day.
Yeah, you
It's
will.
900 kilometers
Yeah.
away.
Because there's only like one flight a week over there. So, or like maybe
No, come on. It's like twice a day.
twice a day.
No,
Yes.
but I saw only
We didn't see
one.
that.
I was
Yeah.
when I would look last
Maybe
week.
they ran
got
out
by-
of
they ran out. Yeah, yeah,
tickets.
yeah,
But you have twice. 2 flights a day in Aerolíneas Argentinas.
But
Right.
it's not every day either. I think it was like only Monday to like Saturday. or
What do
something.
you want? What do you
Well,
think it
you're
is?
saying
Like
every
Dallas?
day.
No.
I'm clarifying.
It's not
And I
like
guess 'cause
everyone
I'm
is going
looking-
to see the Monero Club there.
And it's expensive though. It's like 500
Maybe
bucks.
they are.
Yes.
It's like yeah. All right. Well,
Don't rule out the possibility that I send Doug
don't
on a
give up
bus.
yet. Don't give up yet. I'm here for another week. I might be able to make it
Yeah,
happen.
he hasn't said no yet.
I
So
haven't
that's
said
the
no.
funny part.
That's it.
He keeps saying, "I don't know."
He's thinking about it.
Never say no until you are on the flight back home.
He just said like. a
Just
couple
don't rule out the
meters,
possibility.
It's true.
Are there like speed limits on the road? Like if I rented
Yes.
a motorcycle?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
This is not the autobahn. I mean,
It's not Germany, yeah.
and on some roads you wouldn't want to go faster than 100,
There's a
100 kilometers per
BMW
hour.
motorcycle shop down the block. That's tempting.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got off track here. So, but yeah. but,
You should totally do a road movie and drive.
yeah.
On your
With
way
our
to
friend,
see
he
the
sells-
Monero Club.
He said
Yes,
come with me.
yes, for sure, of course.
Where is
He's going to come. He's going to go with you.
He's gonna come jump on. I'm sure he'll find us.
He had honey
I
from
gotta-
Formosa for
I gotta,
sale.
I gotta text him. Oh, I can't. My phone's up.
Yeah, your phone's
You
up
can
there.
text him. I wanted to ask one question because you mentioned so there's the 2 candidates, right? There's Mile
Yes,
and what's the other guy's name?
Massa.
And Massa. Number one, it's absurd the dichotomy there, right? So Mile, extreme libertarian, looking to basically completely disrupt the current state system, get rid of departments, right? Get rid of the peso, which I'm surprised he's not talking about moving to crypto. And then this other guy, he's the former finance minister, right?
No, he's
No, he's the
still
current.
the
The
economy.
current. So he's literally the problem. He's like the guy that
Yes.
helped create
Yes.
the problem, and he's running on the other. And how are people are still potentially voting for this guy?
Yes.
And he looks like the likely winner. That is terrifying.
But that, you need to do like a PhD to understand Argentinian politics.
Yeah.
I mean, we are not going to solve this in 5 minutes.
I know politics is
But,
I mean, Americans
but
are just as
basically,
diluted.
let me try very short. Massa comes, his background is from the right-leaning libertarian old party,
Right.
actually,
Yeah.
when he was young.
Yes.
But then he became like Peronist, which basically here just means mainstream, because depending on the year that you ask, it's
No, no.
right-leaning or left-leaning.
For us, Massa, there's like a joke here that he's some sort of pancake because he
It's a
flips
pancake.
to the political party that is more convenient.
Okay.
So
Through the years, he
Yeah.
has been on every party, basically,
Yeah.
on every side of the left-right spectrum, and said as many different things as you could imagine. But basically, what happened is that the government that we have now is so bad, and things are so wrong, that they basically took Massa in as a finance minister because
they didn't have anyone else.
they didn't have anybody else.
Actually, Massa does not have like an economic background in
He's just a
degree
lawyer.
or something. Yeah, he's not an economist.
So it's kind of like an inside job in a way.
Right.
But people that doesn't like this government doesn't like Massa either, because it's like, yeah, I don't care where he comes from. It's like from his government, I'm not going to vote for him. And Milei did the other way around. It started as like a very libertarian, like kind of like progressive in a way. Because libertarian and liberal, it means different things in different places. But it started more like people should be free. Everybody should have their own like life or whatever they want to do with their lives, and freedom. And then when the campaign started and it started to get worse, it turned more like right-wing libertarianism.
Right. And when he
Which here is like
attacked the Pope, that was the
It's like the Pope. It
Yeah.
turns into like more into a Bolsonaro,
which
Trump, all that kinds of alliance, and it's not the same everywhere. But some people that were pro Milei before started to see that switch as a kind of like betrayal in a way. Not so much of a betrayal, but it's
it
like
seems
it
like
sounds funny.
Like a danger. Yeah.
So what you have now is basically, I would say, 30% of people convinced on every side, and like 40% of people in the middle saying, I don't know what the fuck to vote. Maybe
Right.
I should vote
which I
blank.
find hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
Because Milei, whatever, right? But it seems like his fault is that he's just too truthful. Like he's just speaking, like he's like, he doesn't seem to be political. He seems to be like, you like it or not, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm even out there criticizing the Pope. I don't. But obviously that's not.
You could give me,
it's
you
not
could
a
give
good-
him some media
it's not a
training.
good, right?
Yes.
It's not a good political move in a country
No.
that's primarily Catholic, and
Yes.
where the Pope actually came from, right?
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is what is this other guy offering? You said he's talking about CBDC.
I'll
How
tell-
is that solved? Like people are seeing their net worth plummet every day.
Yes.
The peso is completely worthless. That is overwhelmingly the biggest issue compared to anything else. They need to fix that problem. This guy on the right is saying we're going to move to the dollar. That sounds like a hell of a lot better than what's going on here, right? Whether
Yeah.
it's the solution.
But
The other guy, I don't even see what is he offering.
let me
as
tell you
a solution?
something that I was going to tell you a lot about the situation here. I don't remember the number. I think it was like 70 or 80% of people on a poll answered that they don't think it's going to get better anyway,
Oh, even if he
no matter who wins. Yeah?
No, we are all convinced that the
Yeah.
Monday after the election is
It's gonna
gonna
be
be
bad.
like hell here. Yeah. You won't
So
be able
people are
to-
not
to
voting
travel
for let's solve this issue in this way or another. People are just mainly, in my opinion, voting angry against one of the parties. But there is no hope. Right?
but if
I know it sounds awful. I'm
It is awful. It is awful, in fact.
I'm just trying to understand.
I am lying or
No,
not?
no, no.
No.
The question actually was, what is Massa proposing
Yes,
to get
nothing.
off
To
get
solve
out
the problem.
of the problem that he
Nothing.
already made?
Yeah.
And he is not proposing anything.
No.
He's saying let's
in my
move to a
opinion-
CBDC, which sounds even
No, no, no.
worse.
CBDC for me was just like a pretty word he found online that sounds stylish and modern.
Sounds,
and
more,
he
yeah,
said,
sounds technological.
yeah,
Yes.
let's go with that. But he doesn't have any options because if not, he would have already used that We have over more.
But
we have more
when he
than
talks
1
about the
million
CBDC, what points of it are he highlighting as a reason why society would even want to move to it? What's his like? What is he saying are the benefits of the CBDC? Like
Some cultural context here.
Now we
After-
can tax you more perfectly with the CBDC.
Yeah, more control.
No.
Actually.
No, it's even worse. I'm like the happy Argentinian guy, right? No, it's even worse. After 2001, for example, things go so bad that some provinces that didn't even have pesos to pay for their obligations or the salaries of the workers that they have, right? So you have the emergence of not even pesos, like fake currencies, like second-hand currencies, like
Yes.
Patacon in the Buenos Aires province and some other places. Every province had their own like currency that was only emitted by that province, and you can only use in that province, just because it was a full-blown crisis, right? So when Massa talks about a CBDC, what I hear is that things may get so bad financially for the peso, and if they want to stop emitting pesos because obligations are like you have to settle back a lot of debt in pesos, maybe the CBDC is just like a peso too, that all the money that comes from the government is going to be denominated in that, and you cannot exchange it for anything else. You just have to use it for spending, basically for your life, right? So you have to spend it for food, for whatever you want, but you cannot trade it for any other currency, of course.
I think the main goal for the government is actually for people to actually not own anything, don't be owners of anything. Like if you have a property, for example, if you have like your house, the one you're living in, and another one because you use it for rent and you have like an extra income there, you are seen as the bad guy.
Right. You will own nothing and be happy. Is the
You
No,
are
if you are
taking-
the owner, you're the bad guy.
yeah, if
Yes.
you're
no, but I'm saying the government is trying to push an initiative where nobody
Yeah.
owns anything.
but we are, I think you're a bit of context because we have actually lived in this corrupt system so fucking long that lots of generations are not used to having a proper government. For example, I was born in 1999, so I lived with them all my life, and they were always the same.
It's
It
basically
just keeps
yesterday.
getting worse. Yeah. So when I found out about cryptocurrency, I was like, well, this is the revolution. This is
Yeah.
the only way to get out. But actually, if you see our like brothers, other Latin American countries, they are not as bad as we are
Yeah.
because they have like some sort of shiny ideas that actually work, and they put it to work.
Yeah.
Aina man was saying because the CBDC is offering free money. Is that part of his policy? Like that
Yes.
people are going to get like
Definitely.
stimulus? Like they're going to get,
You know about the social plans?
yeah. It's like a social credit. I mean, not social, like a,
No. Argentina, things go so bad that a lot of people need support. Like,
right. And they'll issue this through the CBDC.
Yes.
Right.
Actually, right now they have, for many years, they have support from the
Like
government.
a universal basic income.
Yes, kind of like a universal.
Right.
You
Yeah,
have
but it's
something.
not like a minimum wage. You think, oh, it's something like you can live and survive. No, it's something like maybe you have 5 social plans on your
Right.
name.
So that is really the
And you
selling.
can travel and you
That
can
makes
buy
sense.
stuff. It's not like
Right.
a
Of course, you're not
minimum
going to live well. But for example, wages are so low that some people don't want to actually get a job because it
Yeah.
pays less than the social benefits that they have,
Yeah, that's-
and they may lose.
What
Of
is
course, it's very poor by your standards. I mean, it's not. You're not talking about a lot of money, but still, the wages are so low that it's a good trade, so to speak.
what is the unemployment rate here?
It's very low.
the white employment rate or the, or the
way-
other employment.
Yeah, I guess both.
Real employment is very low right now.
Real employment.
We are not in a recession.
So,
Economy is blooming.
all right, what is the unofficial, like the reality?
No, reality is true that most people have a job,
So, but these people, like, I mean,
We
but the
don't have,
wages
like,
are very
social
low.
care,
the people that are coming up to us and asking us for food off of our plate when we're eating dinner, they have jobs.
Probably not, but you have a lot of informal jobs, and people just do errands or do fixed stuff or whatever for a bit of money. But it's not enough for you to live properly. And actually, I don't know how to say, like the minimal legal wage here, like normal wage, it's very low.
It's close to, I think, $150.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe.
It's very low.
And it is not enough for you to live by yourself, for example.
And in for example, in some aspect, like in food prices for the past year or so have been going up in dollars.
Yes. Because our economy is basically dollarized. It is already dollarized.
It's dollarized, yes.
Was that
At the
salary
black market
average for a month or a year? You said $150.
For a month.
Oh, for a month. Okay.
A month.
If you take the free market rate.
There.
course.
I mean, you see the poverty here in
Yes.
Yeah.
Buenos Aires. We had people
No.
coming up to
Sorry,
us,
sorry.
multiple people
That's what you got
asking us
wrong.
for food.
We have a lot of employment now. We are not in a recession, but we have a lot of poverty.
Right.
So people have jobs,
But they're not getting
but
paid.
they're not getting a lot of
Yes.
money.
Yeah,
So you may see people that actually have a job,
Right.
even some
But
people
they
that are
can't afford-
like
they can't afford
in
to
the
eat.
white job,
Right.
having to do like 2 or 3 jobs, or basically just having to ask for money in the
Right.
streets.
Right. The people that were asking us for money, it was like we're from New York, right? We've lived through this our whole lives, and obviously we traveled
It's
around.
like,
Experienced.
like basically the same.
Well, no, it's different. So in New York, the people that are asking you for money, I don't want to phrase this in an offending way, but lots of times they're the type of people that don't have. You look at them; these people don't have jobs. They can't hold a job. They're drug addicts. There's something else wrong with them. Here, I could tell they were normal people that just wanted food. And like we're just like, yeah, sure, take the food. In New York, it's like, it's a drug addict that's asking us for money. Here it was somebody actually in need of food who, didn't seem like a low life that was a drug addict. It was just like somebody that didn't have the money.
You saw adult people, or did you see kids?
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They send the kids.
Yeah. They send the
But
we
they're
actually
not,
saw a lot
they're
of
not
them.
asking for money, right? Money is one thing, and then they go use it however they want. Nobody's going to ask for food and then just go throw it away. They actually wanted that food. They couldn't afford the food.
You have like a big chunk of the population that is called like generational poverty somehow. That is like third generation of basically poor people. So the father and the grandfather were poor, and those people are not getting better by any means anyway. But what you have the past few years is that a lot of new people got poor. That's why you don't see. You may be.
We are watching the life decay of the middle class.
Middle class is disappearing basically,
which is happening in the U.S. as well, but here on a much more drastic level.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The middle class here historically is used to pay for a lot of stuff. The people in the lower.
We'll bring them up.
Yeah, she's gonna bring more honey.
I think you went to the back.
No, I mean, people in lower classes are very used to subsidizes and government services and public healthcare, public education, all of that. They don't have a choice. But the middle class historically is very used to pay for all those things. Besides taxes. They go to private schools, which are not like super fancy. You have fancy, expensive schools. But most people in the middle class send their kids to the best school that they can afford. So it's a private school. They pay for private health care because it's better or you have faster than the public health care. They pay for usually they have cars, so you have the insurance of the car and the payments of the taxes on the car. It's very expensive to be middle class here, related to some other places in the world, like in proportion.
Yes.
So what happens is that the moment that the economy starts going bad, the middle class starts not being able to afford those services.
Yes.
So basically, they enter the lower class.
Right away.
They're not. They're culturally not used to that.
Yes.
And that middle class that used to be super big in proportion in Argentina decides a lot what happens in the elections.
Yes. Yes.
So that's why you see candidates right now and in the past elections as well, basically talking to the middle class.
Yes.
And it actually is not an actual middle class in the sense that they have the money for being middle class. It's a psychological middle class.
Right.
They want to. It's aspirational
get
middle class.
back.
They want to get back to the middle class.
Yes. Wow.
So they're voting for anybody that promise them that return to be middle class.
Yes.
In services, in even, for example, to travel abroad, to
Right.
have holidays abroad,
Right. Right.
stuff like that. It sounds stupid, but it's like,
No.
It's
we
a
used to
simple thing.
we used to be able to do that like 20 years ago. What happened?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
And let's be clear. This is all because of fiat. At the end of the
Yeah,
day.
totally.
It's because of the fiat system.
Well, actually, the ones that are in charge of printing.
Yes.
Also.
Yes.
Yeah, if I were in charge of fiat, this wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Not at all.
We just need a better ruler.
Yeah. You want me to move? So
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll switch it up. Let you take a break.
I can't.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, because I wasn't
We
supposed to be
we
here.
greatly appreciate your time.
Well, thanks-
Do we
thanks
have
a lot.
your
Yeah, I'll get her
contact?
contact now. Yeah, while you.
You have my
Yeah.
Get your contact.
awesome.
It'd be great if you could come Sunday.
It was
we could chat
awesome
with you.
getting to meet you and talking to the audience.
Tell us, pitch your
Your
podcast.
Yeah.
My
YouTube.
Instagram is I don't know where the camera is.
The camera's over there.
Oh, it's too
But I'll add it in the show notes. Yeah, yeah.
You can walk up to the camera if you want. Just put it right in there.
Okay. Well, bye. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Did you get your Monero? Were we able to send you the Monero? Okay.
Oh, yep.
Yes.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
leave it there for a sec. Yep. All right. So that's your Instagram name on the bottom and her YouTube. Wait, hold it up a little higher.
Higher.
There you go. Wait, a little lower, a little to the left. Or to the right.
There you go.
Hey!
All right.
Very nice.
Cool. All right. You're great. You were great. Yes, and see if you get her contact, just in case. I mean, we have her Instagram now. What's going on, man?
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Fine, thank you. I'm very happy to be here with you.
Yes, we were talking about you before. What is your tie-in with Formosa?
I in Café Monero, the Andhres podcast. I listening about the Monero town, and I think I must know these people. It's awesome. They have a great work with a football team that was dead. No money, no nothing, no T-shirt for the players. Then with the donation of Monero community, we have a team again. We have a light for the stadium. I say we because I feel like I am part of. I have a commitment with they because I love the idea. Then I am a fan of Libertad Club Team.
That's so awesome. So you visited it. You visited.
I visit. I know Alexander, Luciano, and all the guys.
And where were you coming from? Because you live in
I am from Uruguay.
Uruguay.
I'm traveling for South America, teaching about Bitcoin, but I am Bitcoin. I love Monero. I love privacy, and I am a Bitcoiner focused in privacy. Then I teach, for example, Samurai Wallet. They want to implement Monero atomic swaps. Then I'm teaching for free in the communities the history of money, the blockchain, the wallets, and I'm going to add Monero because I'm doing a privacy Bitcoin diploma. Then in the final part is going to be including Monero, and it's good for the team. It's not only a Monero team; it's a cyberpunk football team. Then it's good to everyone
To grow the
to-
community. To bring
yes.
Everybody that's interested in privacy aspects of crypto.
Yes,
Right? True
yes.
cypherpunks.
and it's a poor town. Then it's an example the how we with technology we can swap the reality. Then the pibes, the guys, the teenagers of this town can be the actors and take the own life.
Yes.
Help me with my
Yeah,
English.
yeah,
It's
no,
not
you're
the
doing
best.
great. You're doing great.
Then Formosa is a provincia, state with the same governor
Governor,
from 15 years. And they say it's a dictatorship.
it's corrupt.
But in the like Asterix and Obelix, we have a little town with the rebels. They are
Yes.
the privacy guy, the cyberpunks, and we are frontera
On the frontier.
border with Paraguay.
Oh, you're born in Paraguay.
Then this is the site for, and I buy a T-shirt, a pirate T-shirt from Lacoste because we are Latin American. We pirate all of things, and I buy with Monero.
A fake Lacoste t-shirt.
Yes, a fake Lacoste
You
T-shirt
bought it with Monero.
in the town. I
Where?
buy with in a shop, a little shop. Do you know the name of the shop?
No.
Thor.
Ah,
Then
wait, where? In Formosa?
in Formosa,
Oh my God.
in Monero town, in Ibarreta, but it's not Monero town. Sorry, guys, it's privacy town for everybody. Bitcoiners are included too. The VPNs and Tor are included too. Privacy signal, whatever do you want? Cryptography,
So are people actually
the thief, the hawkers, everything.
are people actually using Monero? I know they were using it to gamble
Ah.
on football.
But
Is it
but
being
you need for gamble, and you go to the barber shop and you pay with Monero, and the barber can gambling,
yes?
or can be buy in the supermarket, and you have a liquid money system with Monero, and I ask for him. You use USDT, Theta? What? No, only Monero, my friend. I was the
Oh, you
The-
asked them if they accept other.
yes,
They
yes.
said only
You
Monero.
you accept Tether, USDT.
Yeah.
What? No, only Monero.
Wow,
I was the more happy person in the world
that is amazing to hear.
because you know Monero is, you say Monero in crypto ecosystem. The people say, oh, Monero, no Monero. What? What's the problem with Monero? We use Monero. We accept Monero.
Yeah, it's money.
If you don't like, don't use. Fuck off. Then this is a great thing. Then the idea is to push up this and build a school next to the stadium and teach for free Bitcoin privacy, whatever. If you want to teach English for free, you are welcome. The important is the people.
Right.
This is our tools for empower the people.
An education center.
Education
Where-
is the way.
We're going to teach
And-
basically libertarian values, right?
Son, I am an anarchist,
Yes.
but not this new anarchist. Strange. The anarchist with has to fight, create conscience in the people, a criticism spirit. The most important that the people think
Yes.
and they choose what
Right.
they think.
Right.
We are the owner of your thinking,
Yes.
and we don't. No queremos serlo. We don't. Yeah, you understand?
Yes. They be in charge of their own destiny.
Exactly.
In charge of their own destiny. Make your
Sí.
own choices. Be responsible for those
Yes.
choices,
Yes.
and not relying on the state to tell you what to do or how to do it.
Or any person,
Right.
because a corporation is
Sure.
bad as
Right. And
as a government.
that's what a government is. At the end of the
Yes.
day, right? Just a very large corporation
Corporation,
with
yes.
a failing business model.
And this
Yeah.
team, this football team is the way to organize the people with the hooligans.
Yes.
Think about.
Yeah.
It's a we have something unite the people with partnership, with fraternship, and is Argentina. Football is life. If you have football and privacy, you are free.
Oh wait, can we hear you? I don't know which one is you here. Go ahead and talk. Talk. Yeah, because I think she just lowered all the gains.
Is it just muted?
Yeah. How's our sound right now, Tux?
It sounds fine. But of course, Andres.
Is it loud?
Like muted.
In the background?
No, it sounds fine. No, the background's okay.
This one is working.
Oh,
Yes,
yep,
that was working. Okay. Tux, do we have Bawdy? Is he going to give price report?
He's in the background. He's got the charts. So I guess if we have a break,
yeah, maybe once we finish with Ernesto, we could do that.
Yeah. Yep.
So, Ernesto,
You are coming to Ibarreta, right? You promised to me. You look to my eyes and say, I can't break the heart of the people of Ibarreta.
I said we try to figure out. Because what are we gonna do? We're gonna drive there.
People, what do you think? He's coming or not? Say in the comments, please.
What should I do, guys? Should I head to Formosa? It's a 13-hour drive. What would we do? We rent a car, drive there?
Bus. You are asleep in the night in the bus, and when they come, you are wanna eat the honey of Mendoza, the best.
That does sound enticing. That does sound very enticing.
I would rather sleep during the night in the bus than driving 13 hours.
Yeah,
It's up to you.
yeah, 13 hours.
You can do it. Come on, you are here in Argentina.
You're gonna
It's
come?
opportunity.
You're gonna come with me?
Yes, of course.
All right. Well, we'll talk. We'll talk after this.
It's a yes.
And you're coming.
Goodfellas. It's a yes.
You have to go. People
and
are saying go.
it's good to you.
We have technical difficulties, yes.
Yeah,
Travel now. This is
I know. I have to.
this new.
Yeah,
In 5 months, you wanted to recognize.
I know. I
It's good to.
honestly, my heart would be broken if I don't go. I think I gotta go. I gotta go.
Okay,
So,
I see you guys. I continue in the Labitconf. Thank you for
I'll
the space.
see you Sunday, and we'll figure out how we're gonna go. Okay. All right.
It's a,
All right. There you go, guys.
Thank you.
Live on air. We made the deal. Maybe we
Make
rent
it
the car.
happen.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk. Yes. All right, brother. You drive.
Don't try to Formosa.
Yeah. How bad could it be? 13 hours on a bus overnight.
Wow, you're really thinking.
I
about
took
it.
a bus once from Warsaw, Poland, all the way down to Florence, Italy. That was a 24 hour.
Okay, I muted the wrong mic.
That was I took a 24-hour bus ride once,
Good.
but I was a much younger man.
From I have a younger ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta move the
From
camera a
Warsaw,
little.
Poland to Florence, Italy.
But that's a bit different.
It's a little different.
I would say that is a bit different.
I've taken some. I took a bus in Costa Rica, maybe like an 8-hour bus ride in Costa Rica.
Live from Monerotopia.
Maybe on the bus ride we could onboard everybody to Monero. What do you think? By the end of the bus ride, you think we could have everybody on board?
of course.
No,
of course.
people want to sleep.
And they'll be heading
It's the
to
middle of the
Formosa,
night.
right? So they'll be local.
We want to make wallet for the people and how you say
This could become a whole new thing. The Monero bus between Argentina and Formosa.
and we give away some Monero for the people and we must they must to learn to use a wallet. It's very easy. I love it. This work. I love it.
And we'll have a captive audience, that's for sure, for 13 hours.
For 13 hours.
Oh man, guys, you know I'm gonna do it. It's like I'm already staying here longer in Argentina than's needed for with this purpose in mind. Just wasn't sure how I was gonna make it work. You're right there.
Now I am.
Yes.
So I guess we should tell our friend then not to ship the. Well, worst case he ships.
Wait, so now you're going? I left for like 10 minutes.
A lot has changed.
Like I left for like not even 10. I left for like 5
I
seconds.
mean, I got it.
Now you're going. Oh, so now you're going.
He's buying
Been
an
heavily
apartment.
persuaded.
Oh, great.
Tux, what do you think, man?
I mean, 13-hour bus ride is pretty long for bus ride, but I mean, like you said, you done a 24-hour bus ride before?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I would never. He can have fun.
And then I got to make my way back.
Yeah, I mean,
too.
if you'll have fun, then you'll onboard a bunch of people to
Maybe I
Monero.
can at least get a one-way plane ticket. Maybe I can at least fly back. All right, we'll look into it.
Oh yeah. There's only there's only one flight back, so you got to make sure
Oh, my
that's
God.
available.
It's probably
All right.
Maybe
cheap,
it's
though, right?
gone.
We have to
Probably really
we
cheap
will
flight.
check almost live here. The moment that Monerotopia ends, we're gonna check the flight
We're gonna check
situation.
to see.
Because it wasn't cheap. That's the thing. If it was like $500.
Round trip.
Yeah.
Round trip.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, 'cause
Yeah,
I
and
think
it was
at the
like a
last
2-hour.
minute, I'll probably end up
Probably
doing that.
the
I'll
last
just probably spend $500. Pull the trigger on that.
That's hilarious.
It's $500.
Although,
for
being
a
on-
very
being on a-
nice anecdote.
Yeah. 13 hours where we can onboard
Wait, he's
everybody.
driving? Why?
That'd be
Change
hilarious.
his story.
What's
You're
that?
taking a bus?
He's saying bus is the best way.
Wow.
Safe
And that's
is
what,
that's
12 hours?
13 hours.
13. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 13. All right. Well,
It will
You
be
have
an
fun.
experience, that's for sure.
you think?
And then he said, once I get there, I'll have the best honey I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, who's really trying to sell you on that honey?
But yeah, what's in
You
this
better
honey?
bring me back some honey.
Is this like the mushroom honey I had in Mexico?
Oh
I was
my
about to
God.
say, well, what's in this honey?
Where's James? Where's James?
That was amazing. I'm still recovering
James,
from
if you're
that.
watching, shout out to James.
I'm a different man ever since suggesting that honey.
Oh my God. All right.
So
Well,
let's do price report.
let's do prices.
Yeah,
Body's
we'll
still
take
here.
a
His
little
body
break.
left.
All right, Body's here.
Body-
He's ready to go. Let's do it.
Shroom report.
All right. Coolly. All right.
Shroom
Put the
report.
segment.
Shroom report.
The mushroom.
We definitely need shroom honey at the next Monerotopia in Argentina. We got to pull that off. I'm sure we could get the guys in Formosa to figure that one out.
That's
The
hilarious.
Monerotopia price report segment is sponsored by
The whole
Local
mushroom
Monero.
thing is
Avoid
just-
using KYC exchanges. Buy and sell Monero directly for fiat, peer-to-peer.
Hey guys.
Body.
Body, man. Thank you for being patient.
I know.
Waiting around. Sorry about that. We just wanted to
Nah,
catch
that's
these
fine.
people.
I'm
Oh,
usually
now-
first. Everyone else usually has to be patient till they get on it. I can wait at least
Yes.
one time.
But it's actually been a big week in price, right? I've seen like at
Oh,
least
yeah.
for
We've
Bitcoin,
had-
I've seen, right? Yeah.
And juicy.
Let's find out.
Sorry, go ahead.
Andres
Sorry, I
is
had to
like, come on,
readjust
let's
my headphones
Andres say, let's find out.
Let's find out.
Yeah, let's hear
With
what's
the
going
price
on.
Report.
All right, I just wanted to back up one thing on Andres was saying about the fintech adoption. If you look in the background, you've got the prominent MicroStrategy fintech sign right there, right in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he had mentioned that. I actually laughed. I was like, oh, shit. Right
Well,
up there.
even funnier than that, maybe we onboarded CipherTrace to
Oh
Monero.
my God.
Did you really? I
We got
didn't know that.
guys working at the
That's the
CipherTrace
ultimate.
stand.
So funny.
They weren't willing to do an interview. They were pretty knowledgeable. One of the guys was at one point an investigator for the company. I had a nice conversation with them. They're gonna try to get me somebody that will like do a proper Monero talk with me.
You sent them some
but
Monero.
You thought there was someone that could not onboard. You were wrong.
No, we did onboard them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
that's
mean.
what he
That's
said.
what I mean.
Monero.
Yeah.
He onboarded.
Yes.
Bro, they're gonna use
And
that
they were-
output against you now. They're gonna like.
I know, that's what I
they're
said.
gonna
Like,
trace you for, like 1 or 2 hops now.
But they, they're not anti-Monero. I mean, at least these guys working there, they're not anti-Monero by any means. They're interested in it. They see the value in it. They understand it.
Yeah. For sure, they
what-
see the value in it.
What? Yeah, exactly. Right. They experience
Yeah,
the
they're
value.
trying as hard as they can
personally.
to trace it, and they can't.
What they said is they sell their tools, their services to governments and not to exchanges, right? So they're not offering any like these other chain analysis firms that offer these services to exchanges. CipherTrace does that as well, but not for Monero. So for Monero, where they claim to have some ability to have insight into transactions, they're doing that not for exchanges because it's really, from what I gather, I'm talking about, there's not much they can offer an exchange because of their inability to trace. But they do work for governments in doing pinpointed tracing, right? So for incidences like the CCS hack, right? Hire CipherTrace, and they'll try to figure out where your funds might have gone if there's any information that they can gather from the transactions that you provide them, the information that you provide them. So
I would love to see you raising funds to pay CipherTrace.
To pay them for what?
to analyze the CCS event.
Maybe I can get them to come to Formosa with me. We can sit on the bus.
They should open up CCS.
Yeah, they should, right? They should start a Kudo to raise funds to. So I thought that was interesting, and maybe we'll get them on the show. But yeah, we got them to accept Monero on the spot.
Good.
Cool.
Well, go ahead, buddy.
Take it away.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess.
Wait.
He's joking.
I'm
I'm going to mute ourselves over here so people can hear you clearly. All right.
No, it's fine. You guys jump in whenever you want. A lot of price action, and sometimes I can, ramble on. So feel free to jump in anytime you want. Okay, so we're looking here at the Monero chart. I just wanted to get us a kind of a bird's eye picture of where things are from basically 2017. You got this big rising support line that kind of broke down in the past couple months. And basically, we're bumping up against that line again. You can also see this line right here is kind of a secondary support line that's been in play for about the past year and a half. So that's kind of the big picture. You can see that we've broken down the main falling falling resistance, broken through that months ago. So price right here on Monero would appear to be neutral, but this kind of very long-term action is what you call consolidation at the bottom. And I mean, you would look at this and say, hey, this chart does have the opportunity to make a big pump, just like from a purely technical standpoint, forgetting all the fundamentals. So zooming in a bit here on the daily, I think it was last week, we had this big green dildo to the upside. We had some very interesting price action this week where we took, let's just take a look at this. Things just like flash crashed, almost 10%, about 8% there. And this happened like in the matter of maybe 2 hours, 1 hour. Yeah, this flash crash happened in a matter of 1 hour. And it was kind of something that had happened across the board, across all crypto assets. You can kind of see this on Bitcoin. Maybe if we go down to the 1 hour here. I believe it was right here. It was this same crash. You'll notice the Bitcoin crash was only like 5.5%. We can look at the Monero. Let's go to Monero Bitcoin. You can look at this also in terms of Monero versus Bitcoin, and that was this candle right here as well, where it just took a big dump. So one thing I did today, or yesterday, or a few days ago, was to take the XMR-BTC chart and then run a correlation analysis compared to total. So the total market cap of crypto. And one thing that I thought was interesting is that the ratio of XMR to BTC is basically inversely correlated to how well crypto is doing. And we've talked about this. We've seen this anecdotally, but again, it's like, it's always good to try and do some kind of mathematical analysis to confirm the thing that you think you're seeing. Because sometimes stuff can appear, it can feel like things are a certain way, but it's not really quite as prominent as you would think. But in this case, we can see that since basically the middle of 2022, the middle of last year, if the crypto market is going down, Monero BTC ratio is going up. And if the crypto market is going up, the XMR BTC ratio is going down. So you'll see this is -1 down here on the bottom. -1 means inversely correlated. So this is interesting because we haven't quite seen this action through the lifetime of Monero's history. You'll notice that for the most part, okay, there's been some positive correlations earlier right here where, okay, if the market is going up, the XMR BTC ratio is going up, but it's largely been up, down, up, down. And when you're oscillating around the 0 point like that, it basically means no correlation. But this right here is definitely correlation. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that we talk about often. If we think the crypto market is going to be broadly positive, don't expect the ratio to be performing that well. So let's take a look a little bit more at some of the pleb lines here, some of the easy ways to draw the chart. So basically we've got this broadening structure here, right? Where we kind of got this lower line that's sort of kind of a support. We break down, but usually come back above it. But things are kind of trending down here. And I'm not really too convinced that this is going to make a big comeback anytime soon. Right now, markets continue looking fairly positive. As we talked about a couple weeks ago, breaking certain levels was going to force me to reevaluate my sort of down through the end of year hypothesis. That kind of happened about, let's just say, a week and a half ago. So, but at any rate, Monero is still benefiting from the broad positive movements in crypto. I would like to see a little bit better price performance right now, but you know, I would expect Monero to continue to generally trend with the crypto market in weird fits and starts, right? Monero will pump earlier and then it'll, you know, flatten out or kind of go down when other things are going up, and then it'll be doing nothing, and then suddenly it'll pump out of nowhere when nothing else is pumping. That's just kind of the action that we've seen on Monero historically now for the past year or so, at least for the past year or so. One thing that I think does happen, I'm starting to believe, and especially, I don't know if you guys saw the CZ tweet where he kind of actually said some good stuff about Monero. And I figure, you know, even criminals need privacy, especially criminals. So anyways, I think it's very likely that a lot of these big players are chain hopping through Monero, and they use those opportunities to fuck with the price. And I also think that it's possible that, so let's get into some price news here. BlackRock, and I'm skipping around, but this will all come together here in a second. BlackRock iShares filed for an ETH trust in Delaware. What this means is that they're basically preparing to request an ETH ETF soon. So that's the speculation. I mean, it's really, you know, do you really have to speculate? Not too much. They actually did file for the trust. This is coming. When they filed for the Bitcoin ETF, we knew that that the ETH ETF was going to be coming around the corner as well. So I wonder if there isn't, with big positive moves in different crypto coins, these guys do reposition the big whales. They reposition the insiders. They kind of change their stack, their play, as they know what's about to unfold in the crypto market. So I think that they do some amount of chain hopping through Monero. It's probably not massive. It could just be like their personal stacks, you know, like perhaps CZ or Justin Sun or some of these guys. I would be willing to bet that these guys in their own personal stack reposition, not just their corporate stack that they're managing, but their own personal stack. I bet these guys reposition their own stuff. I bet they chain hop through Monero, and I bet that this is often used as a way to kind of like fuck with the price so that you can sort of like hit the stops on the places that Monero is traded, some places where it might be leverage traded. That's kind of just like my personal theory. But I think that's likely that's happening. So yeah, that's kind of where Monero's at the moment. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin, since, as they call it, the God market, the daddy coin of all the other coins. Let's go ahead and take a look at the big broad view as well. You can kind of see, okay, we had this triangle down here that got broken to the upside. Right now, you can see the very long term, not very, very long term, but, you know, like for the past year, you can see that we've had this sort of this rising triangle. Let's just draw it out here. This guy, not very straight lines I drew, but that triangle right here, you can see that Bitcoin is basically kind of in this zone right here. That's going to be pretty hard resistance. Like, that's going to be some stiff resistance. That doesn't mean it can't get broken. And one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is that in a bullish scenario, in a broadly bullish scenario, especially in a strongly bullish scenario, you break rising resistance to the top side. So for example, if we were to go down to the shorter time frame here on Bitcoin, this is now the 1 hour chart. Maybe we'll flip to the 2 hour chart so that it's easier to see. So basically, Bitcoin made this big pump and has kind of been trending sideways. It's been trending up and up, and it basically just broke through. I say just, you know, it was a couple days ago, but the market is still a little bit uncertain. It looks like whether this is a real break or a fake out break, but Bitcoin did break through rising resistance right here. That is inherently bullish. Like, from a charting perspective, that is inherently bullish, absent some kind of like major problems in the macro or some kind of like clear fake out issues going on or other counter signals. Right now, we don't see other counter signals. We're not seeing anything in the short term that would say this market is problematic, this market is going to crash. We now have broad positivity in some of the macro stuff as well. So let's take a look here at the NASDAQ, for example. The NASDAQ just broke out of what we mentioned last week, looked a lot like a bullish flag. So, you know what, I'm going to turn off the liquidity here for a second. I don't want it to be too much of an eyesore. So we said, okay, this big move to the upside, we're now in this sort of downward channel, and this looks a lot like a bullish flag. there was a little bit of a fake out down here. Now things have broken to the upside. So one thing that that we need to look at in terms of liquidity is the reverse repos. And the reverse repos have basically gone from a peak of $2.5 trillion, now below $1 trillion. So that's $1.5 trillion that left the reverse repo market and went somewhere, right? It looks pretty clear to me that this money has gone into stocks. This money is likely going into crypto as well. If we expect that BlackRock and the insiders and the ETF, yada yada, et cetera, are getting into crypto, this is on the verge of being like a true mainstream investment now. Anyone can invest in it. Grandma, your pension funds, et cetera, can now, like, when the ETF gets approved, because it's hard to believe that it's just not going to get approved at this point. Everything points that direction. And it could be as early as next year. There's people that are saying that, like, I think it was BlackRock, some BlackRock representative said, like, by January 10th. Who knows, right? It might not be January. Maybe it's March. Maybe it's May. But it's going to get approved at some point. The SEC, just from a pure legal hat standpoint, the SEC has been capricious. They have not applied the rules consistently. That even judges are now saying that. So the SEC just doesn't have much of a leg to stand on here. They're going to have to approve this thing eventually, even if they can put up some more bullshit resistance. And the market kind of knows that. So, excuse me. Okay, so we've got the reverse repos here. They continue to fall. This thing still has another $1 trillion that could hypothetically get pumped into the market. So we can go ahead and come back here to the NASDAQ. Let's turn on the liquidity. So you'll notice here that the white line, that's global liquidity across the board. So M2 money supply of all the different major currencies. Like this white line accounts for like 99% of the global market cap of currencies. So that's M2, and then that's also the balance sheets of various banks. So the green line then is US liquidity. It's just like solely US liquidity. And sorry, excuse me, I got something wrong with my throat today. Anyways, so the green line is US liquidity, and this thing continues to move to the upside. One thing that I incorporated into this this past week is the US Treasury balance sheet. We want to incorporate that in the calculation because at the time when I made this script, it didn't matter because their balance sheet was so low and it kind of oscillated between, like 500 billion or something like that, or a few hundred billion. But they've been printing so much money now that, like, they just keep adding like trillions every quarter, like $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there. Like every few months, they're adding another $1 trillion or so to the balance sheet. And so that money has to get spent somewhere. The government's going to spend that somewhere, typically into corporations, which is going to improve their balance sheet. It's going to improve the corporate profits, which of course is going to improve the stock market. So we still look like we're in this situation of, where did it go? Here we go. We're still in the situation with the bond market where, things are inverted, things are not normal, but somehow they've been able to keep things inverted and not normal for quite a long time here. It looks like they got interest rates off the floor to over 5%. That's like basically a miracle that they didn't crash the economy doing that. Maybe there's still something coming next year. I would kind of be surprised if there isn't. It doesn't have to be like a 9/11 or a 2008 style crash. I still just think it makes sense for some kind of big washout to happen before the next bull market happens or begins in earnest. If for no other reason than you want to clear out all of the longs, clear out the leverage longs, hit those stops, liquidate people, crash things to the downside, get the opportunity to position yourself, and then move for another year's long bull market. But who knows when that happens, right? The bond market is not saying that crash is going to happen anytime in the immediate future. And we're not seeing anything overall in the macro that says things are terrible. The Dixie right now the dollar index continues to look like it's in this bullish flag. So from a charting perspective, you would expect this to break to the upside and then head for this area right here. When that happens, I don't know, but it's starting to get a little bit long in the tooth. So perhaps that doesn't happen, but from a pure like pleb line TA standpoint, you would expect that to happen. And then from a pure kind of statistical standard deviation analysis, wave magic, you would say that the prominent long-term standard deviations are up here in the 108, 109 area. So these standard deviations, by the way, are not necessarily hard resistance. This is not like, oh, you touched the line and now it's going to get rejected off the line. It's an area. It actually ends up acting a little bit more like this. You can often see something pop up above the standard deviation like this, hang out, and then come back down. So you just have to understand that these are not hard resistance lines in that sense. They're more like target zones and that's really the way you have to treat it. So let's see. I wanted to also show you guys another little script I was playing with this morning, trying to expand. These are Z-scores. And remember, Z-scores tell you how the asset is doing relative to its own history. So it basically normalizes everything to a 0 point, right? If it's 0, it means the asset hasn't been changing. Some assets like Monero, like stablecoins like Monero, tend to have very low volatility. So if it pumps, let's say 50% for Monero, that's a pretty big move. Like that's a massive move considering the past year of our price action. Whereas something like FTT token, for example, the FTX, Sam Bankman's like primary token there for their exchange, that thing has had shitloads of volatility, mostly to the downside. So this thing pumped massively. Like I want to say it's been like a 4x or almost a 5x now. So anyways, but the idea here is to look at how an asset is performing relative to its own history so that you can kind of see which ones are performing, which ones are not. Right now, in order to do that, you have to look back a certain amount of time. So we are looking back 100 candles. And since we're on the daily, that would be 100 day. We could change that, maybe we could even change that to a year. Let's go 365 and see what pops out here. But ultimately, the things that I want to show you here, that Link continues to perform. Link has basically been a top performer, and TRX, Tron, has also been another top performer. And this should be unsurprising. Stablecoins are sort of the, let's just call them the lifeblood of the crypto liquidity marketplace, exchange marketplace. And the fact that so much Tron or so much Tether gets issued on top of Tron, it basically tells you that Tron is going to be supported by insiders. So you can expect that Tron is probably going to continue to perform in any bull market scenario. The laggards have been BNB token. Dogecoin has actually been kind of lagging as well, although it's starting to catch up now. Obviously, Matic, Litecoin is down there as well. And then XMR has been kind of middle of the pack, although where is it? I don't see it on here. I see it on the right, but where is... I probably messed up the colors because I was like fiddling with it right before we started here. But anyways, yeah, like for me personally, like I told you guys for a long time, Link was kind of this like outside play. It was insurance against me being wrong. Like I thought the market, my overall thought was, okay, the market looks on balance of probabilities down. Even if not, I want to protect my stack, but here's some cash into Link. If Link does well, then cool. I'm still making money in the gains game. So anyways, Link is good. I'm probably going to take profit there, maybe around 17 or 18. That would be my personal spot there for Link, just just for some shitcoinery. Let's still look at ETH-BTC. For some people, they would call this even further shitcoinery. As we talked about, this very long-term, let's go to the weekly. This very long-term support line got tagged. This thing is from 2017, right, guys? So this is a 5-year support line. You're not just going to break this line down typically, rarely, or you're just going to like crash through this kind of big support line like that. You're going to get at least an interim bounce, which is kind of what we're seeing. And especially given the fact that BlackRock iShares looks like they're going to be filing for their ETF. You got a pretty good move there. Let's take a look relative to Bitcoin. That was about a 12% move. So pretty good. ETH is catching up. It definitely was doing worse for a while. I personally think that, again, like ETH is likely to break through back into this range and then move to the upside. I think that ETH and Tron are where Tether and USDC are issued. It's just a no-brainer to me. Like whether you like ETH or you don't, it's just a coin that's probably going to be regarded importantly in the crypto ecosystem for quite a long period of time. So I don't think I have too much else for you guys. We could look at hypothetically the Bitcoin versus the stock market. You can see it still looks positive. One thing maybe we should do also is take a look at the Bitcoin wave magic. I just want to show you guys the statistical levels. While that's loading, we'll take a look at Bitcoin dominance. So you can see that Bitcoin basically broke above this sort of rising resistance. But now that the market is generally in the positive mood, you're going to see the shitcoins continue to perform. You're going to see new shitcoins continue to perform. I believe Sol was another top performer. There have been proposals. I think they're still highly tentative, but there are proposals now for people that want to buy FTX, the platform. FTX people are going to get made whole at some point here. Scratch that. Excuse me. Not made whole. FTX people are going to get paid back. in some portion. They're going to get some amount of money back. They've been finding billions here, billion there. So you're going to see some repayment there. And with the Sam Bankman trial being over, he still has to get sentenced, but that won't be till like March of next year. But with that whole thing kind of like looking like it's ending, people are getting optimistic on the comeback, FTT, Sol, et cetera, whatever. I think they're both shitcoins, but Sol is an interesting idea, the way they do their mining, but I'm not sure that I like their implementation necessarily. And I'm not convinced that way of mining is really the best way to do it. Anyways, okay, so that's Bitcoin dominance. I wouldn't necessarily expect a bunch of performance there, but the crypto market, is when it's bullish, it can start doing crazy things. Okay, now here's what I wanted to show you with the wave magic, with the standard deviation analysis. I just wanted to point out again, these very long-term standard deviation levels, the upper blue bands. I know this chart's kind of messy and it's kind of taking a moment to load. We probably don't have much more time here. Yeah, okay, so this will have to do right here. This will have to do for now. So basically, these upper standard deviation bands get set when price starts expanding, when price starts moving significantly to the upside or to the downside. It means that the standard deviation of the running past, let's just say 100 days or 1,000 days or 50 days or 4,000 days, right? The standard deviation of all of those price points, all of those candles of the past X amount of days starts to expand when price starts to get volatile. And that's what these lines are. That's what the blue lines are. That's what the orange lines are. Blue is the upper standard deviation. Orange is the lower standard deviation. Don't worry about the red and the purple lines. Actually, let me just mute those. They're a derivative of standard deviation. But anyways, the point of this chart is to show you guys that, yes, things feel markedly bullish here. This is your take profit area. Like if you're in a long trade, if you've kept your long-term trading stack in play, even if you are the kind of person that only reallocates funds every so often and rebalances your portfolio, maybe you try and target percentages, and that's actually a very easy way to keep your portfolio balanced. When you have massive gains on some asset and maybe you had 5% of your asset, your funds in some asset, and then it becomes like 20% of your stack, we'll rebalance that, right? Like right now I'm looking at kind of a situation with Link for me that's doing a little bit of that. You want to rebalance that. So these upper standard deviation levels are very long-term levels. We could also just kind of drop some basic lines here. So for example, this horizontal line that I just laid down, that's another spot. That was kind of like the rebound back in March of 2022, April 2022. That was like the top rebound off of the top. That is like a perfect spot to look at and think, okay, maybe it's time to take some profit. Now, you could take some profit, you can pull some chips off the table, and then you can just wait for some kind of modest pullback. You could just wait for 16% down, right? And then get back in. If you're really nervous about not being in the market, again, I like to play things by ear. We're looking at long-term. If this thing just shoots up in the next week or so to these upper standard deviation bands, do yourself a favor and take something off the table, take some profit, right? Just a little bit. I'm not saying to trade, but even DCA hodl is a kind of a trade. So, yeah, those are the kinds of things to be watching out for. Bitcoin looks markedly positive. The whole market looks fairly positive. If you've got some shit coins, be looking at the opportunities to, to take some profits. Good luck, everyone. Hope you guys have fun at the conference.
All right. No, it looks like they're.
They don't care about price.
No, they don't.
Maybe they shouldn't. Yeah, man. So I finally got on the LibreWolf.
Oh yeah, for the browser, is it working good for doing the charts? Oh, hello, Steve.
No, I'm still on Firefox for charts. I haven't gotten around to it, but I'm using LibreWolf in other areas. What's up, guys?
Buddy, that was great. Honestly, we only heard the first part because we got distracted here. We ended up speaking with Rodolfo, one of the guys that runs the Labitconf.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, we had an opportunity because obviously you can imagine he's super busy here trying to run the conference.
No,
exciting news.
I am not offended.
He seems to be open to working with us if we look to do Monerotopia down here, to helping us with those efforts, collaborating. And he said that Labitconf will be in Argentina again next year. So that's very persuasive for another reason why we'd highly consider doing it down here. So we can do it down here, potentially collaborate with Labitconf, or at the very least do it alongside. So we have people that are already down here coming to the largest crypto conference in South America, and then they can come stop by Monerotopia. So
Wow, that would be
breaking
amazing.
news.
Breaking news.
this is happening live.
Yeah. We were
Behind
trying to
the
get him on the
scenes.
show, but he's too busy.
He's
But
like running around.
more importantly, he
You should get a scooter. He was on a
seems
scooter.
very
running away.
open to working with us, and he's obviously very Monero friendly. He allowed
allowed us
Andres to give the Monero talk, and he's open to Monero. He appreciates Monero, so all good things.
Nice.
Nice, yes.
Both of us are in the proof of work side of things.
Right.
Let's put it like that.
Yes. All right, buddy.
Right.
Stick around if you can. Greatly appreciate you as always jumping on and doing the price report. It does sound like it was a big week for crypto in general, and I heard
Finally
you at the
some
outset
movement.
talking about the basically the correlation between Bitcoin and Monero, how that's often an indicator of where the market's headed. Right? Is that what you were saying on the outset?
I was mostly saying that there's a correlation there that if you just do like a correlation analysis, the ratio, the Monero to Bitcoin ratio is anti-correlated to Bitcoin going up, or really the total market cap of cryptocurrency going up. So when the total market cap of crypto is going up, or Bitcoin price is going up, the ratio just doesn't perform. It's anti-correlated, and it's been that way for like a year and a half now. Or vice versa. If the market's going down, then the ratio performs well.
Right. Or if Bitcoin is staying steady, that's often when Monero starts to catch up.
You know, I have wondered about that. There's got to be some like analysis that can look at that, because correlation analysis, I need to look closer at the math, but it's basically just looking on a per candle basis the relative movements of two assets. But I would be curious to see like, okay, characterizing the volatility of an asset and look at how that's correlated. So I would need to do some Pine script trading view work to really divinate that.
All right. I guess we'll move on. We'll move on to news. Tux, do we have any news for the week?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Later, guys.
Body, stick around if you can. If you can't, no
stick
worries.
around, body, join back, whatever.
Yeah.
You do your thing.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be here.
All right.
Sweet.
Tux, yeah, if you want to give that a shot.
All right, let's do it.
And now for our weekly news segment.
What do we got?
All right. Yeah, we get a bit this week. Some stragglers from the CCS stuff. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I can find the
I
right
think we have
one here.
a little bit of a lag with you. Not sure.
Oh, with me?
No, actually, no. I think it's good now. Okay.
Okay. There's the screen. All right. So, Fluffypony has resigned from the core team. He opened an issue on the meta page about a day after suggesting disbanding the core team altogether. The next day, he posted this, saying that he would resign from the core team, just because of what happened, and also I guess he hasn't been doing that much handling with it. So he's stepping down. And
Officially stepping down.
Yeah, officially stepping down. And
Our
there was
beloved CEO.
the Monero CEO, yeah. And there were some talks in the Monero community channel on Matrix earlier. They had a meeting. There were some potential people who would help to take over the managing the CCS wallet funds, but I don't think they were quite sure yet. So yeah, there's some changes that are going to happen, hopefully for the better, because the whole CCS thing is just an absolute OPSEC disaster, and the people who were in charge of that should have known better. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, it's just that was just a bad luck, right?
Well, there was
for those in charge of the CCS wallet to get hacked. It's just a hard pill to swallow. It's like,
I mean, yeah, bad luck, but also
how can I figure out not to lose them? Right.
Yeah, it sucks and it's unfortunate, but also the setup was like pretty irresponsible from what I can see with that amount of money being handled. But regardless, some changes are happening. So
But I
yeah,
would
Fluffy
say
Pony is
that
stepped down.
Fluffypony stepped down because of the CCS incident. Because I remember from 2018 or something, he already mentioning that he was basically in practice stepping down from board.
Right.
I mean,
He-
the only thing
he
that
really
is now
hasn't been-
official
yeah.
is now probably just him like releasing the keys that
Right,
he has or
right,
something.
Right.
But he hasn't been active for at least 3 years
Right.
or so.
I guess what people were criticizing though is then why didn't they remove, move it to a new wallet, at least for the CCS, a new wallet that he didn't have.
That's the
Oh,
Libertad.
That's the jersey, the Libertad jersey. Yes, yes. That's awesome.
Wow, I
Very
ordered
nice.
one. I have one.
Very nice.
What size is that?
That's the goalkeeper version.
What size is that?
ML.
Oh,
XL.
okay. So that's not too bad then, because he got me an XXL. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be like a nightgown on me. Yeah, and I had Justin Ernhofer and Francisco Cabanas on Monero Talk this week. We
Monero Talk was
broke
very
it all
good.
down. We spoke about. Did you listen to it, Tux? You gave it a listen.
Oh yeah, I listened to most of it. Yeah, it was pretty good.
There's a lot of info dropped there. We spoke about the hack itself, and then we spoke about steps moving forward, what Monero and the Monero community can learn from this, and how we could all move forward. I thought it was a great conversation. And then we talked about Justin and his new company, the new Cipher Trace.
Yes.
And
And of course, there's a lot of people.
They always have a stand next to the
maybe Justin could be a sponsor at Monerotopia. Oh man.
He did a very good report, and a lot of people are freaking out, like, "Oh, how can he do this trade?" It's like a little bit of that was privileged information. The TXIDs were already given in the report.
It's basically like, wait, I can track my own transactions.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. I mean, I tried to get that point across in the podcast. I don't know if you listened to the whole thing. I had asked Justin numerous times to clarify that. And then Francisco clarified it as well. So
there's
I hope
just
that was
people
made
going
clear.
hog wild with not quite understanding but they didn't look at the report. They don't understand it. They're like, they're tracking Monero. It's a bit more nuanced than that. And Monero isn't perfect. Like if you in this case, especially when you have the initial transaction IDs and there's some weird anomalies that you can see, like pocket change, what looked like it may have been used, or like the swept function may have been used. You can see that pretty clearly, but it looks like the money may be. This happened like a month ago, right? So the money's probably they're probably not going to be able to find out ultimately where it went ever.
The funniest part of the interview is when I asked Justin and Francisco, well, what should the hacker have done? And they wouldn't tell me. I was like, well, isn't it just as simple as they should have just sent one transaction out of the wallet, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm not the tech guy.
We are not going to teach you how to rob us more effectively. Yes.
I don't know, Bawdy. Maybe you have some. Is Bawdy still on here? Maybe you have some commentary on that.
No, I don't, man. We said it all. Like it's just a terrible situation.
The behavior of the hacker to sweep the transactions out in 9 separate transactions, and then to after that use what appeared to be what is it called? Pocket change to send his transactions out. It all seemed like bizarre behavior for somebody that's trying to hide their tracks.
Yeah, you would think that someone smart enough to hack that would have done the basic amount of research to understand that, they're a high threat model actor, and so they need to be a little bit more careful with their outputs and the way they manage all that. But I mean, you never know. The setup was so bad, maybe it was just a script kiddie that somehow got in there.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't even know what they came across. They're like, "What's this Monero? What's that?" Right? Oh my god!
I heard of that.
If it's related somehow with the LastPass, the hack.
There were some
database
theories there.
Some theories are regarding that. It will be very lazy from the part of people like taking care of all fans to put Cs in there, but it would make sense in the sense that
convenience.
If somebody just found out like a bunch of Cs from a bunch of stuff,
right?
And like, well, it's just another one.
Right.
What do I have to do? I have to learn Monero in just 1 hour to clean this wallet.
So yes.
Hey, does anyone know if the Windows hot wallet was also drained? Because on Reddit, someone replied to me a couple days ago, and they said it was only the Ubuntu, the cold storage, that was drained, but not the Windows hot wallet.
Yes, that's what Luigi said on the CCS wallet incident thread. It was just the Ubuntu one and not the Windows one, which is
So
interesting
weird.
because they were both on the same network. But maybe the Ubuntu one was more of a target because it was more likely to have more funds. I don't know. It's really weird. There's like nothing really to be made of it, and since it happened 2 months ago, there's probably going to be little memory forensics that can be done. Like there's some people that were working with him to try and get logs and dump the system, right? Make a snapshot, all this stuff, but it happened like 2 months ago, and the money is long gone, right? There's probably not going to be any way to find out where it went, because even with those few transactions that Justin was able to trace after that, it's probably I can't say for sure. You could say more on this, but
it was weird that Luigi seemed like kind of unwilling, very reticent to make any logs, to do any forensics, to do anything like that. Supposedly he reported it like within 24 hours of noticing that it was gone, but like, why didn't any of the core team that he reported it to, did they recommend doing those kinds of forensics? And then why wouldn't he have done that?
Yeah, this really should have been talked about like 2 months ago when it was initially reported, not now that it's public and all of this. It's just kind of a disastrous and sketchy situation. So hopefully they'll have a new person, because like I don't really know Luigi. I know he's been like a long time person that's done merge accepted merge request for the Monero project, and as from what I understand, he's smart and he understands a lot of how a lot of the code that he accepts merges for. But like the way the money was handled was very bad, so he probably should never handle other people's money ever again.
Yeah, I would say silver lining is really threefold. I mean, one people might wake up to the fact that you gotta properly handle your private key, your seed, right? Stored and learn lessons learned here on how not to do things. Number two, core either being eradicated or becoming more decentralized with these work groups that they're talking about, and just overall the project, the management of the project and development becoming more decentralized. And three, I'd say just further focus on the fact that Monero does need to improve in some aspects with regards to its ring signatures, which we all knew already. But here's yet just like another real world example. Granted, it wasn't like Monero was traced from some outside observer. Transaction IDs were given up, and you were able to gain some insight. But still, we don't even want that to be able to happen, right? And so things like full membership proofs now perhaps has even more political will to be implemented among the community than ever before. That's my positive take on
totally.
this issue.
Yeah, eventually it'll.
Very
ring
positive.
signatures won't even they won't even compare.
It's
Being a price
centralization
degen, I'm
will
only
come
concerned
forward.
about if those 500,000 got dumped onto an exchange and it hurt my bags.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So next we have AllArk scam. I don't know how true this is because I didn't really get to look at the news before I linked them up. But apparently this guy decided to buy a $25 EU debit card. A few hours after payment, he received an email, and guess what? It's not a EU card, it's a USA card anyway. Do I still use it? I tried to pay 25, 20, 10 invoices. All failed because of insufficient funds. When I tried to spend $1 at work, but didn't work for 10, 15, 20, so I received one worth of PayPal card of 25. Guy replied me in the support, it's a merchant's fault, but it's not. I don't know what to say about this. This was just what was Tony gave him the news. I've used AllArk before, and multiple times, and he is very responsive and he is very helpful. So personally, I've had a good experience with AllArk. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really check out that story.
Next, this general manager urges central banks to lead innovation for CBDCs. Central banks have responsibility to keep pace with digital age and lead innovation. General manager for the Bank of International Settlements, believes its opening remarks at a conference in Switzerland. And number 8, Carson's called CBDCs the central element of this leadership, elaborating on the potential threats and changes. So just more CBDC stuff, really.
Yeah.
Pretty standard. We get
Yeah,
at least something about that every week. And here's one that you gave, Doug. This was pretty interesting. I saw this earlier this week. Authorities have arrested Hakan Ayik, probably pronounced that incorrectly, a top-tier drug trafficker turned encryption king. He was the guy who told cartels what encrypted phone to use. I spoke to multiple associates of his. They thought he was untouchable.
And what was the name of the?
I think you or I or any one of the Monero bros that are like somewhat savvy on security could probably get hired for millions of dollars a year to help these cartels with their security, because apparently they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, apparently.
Right, like it's not just a couple. Just Google it, guys. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh, of
Ask
course,
ChatGPT. Like, what is this phone that they were recommending to people?
That's
which
what
ended
I'm
up
trying
being,
to see. I'm gonna see if I can open this.
It's called like Anon. It's called like Anon phone or something. And
oh yeah, that was a Fed honeypot one for sure.
Right, it's a Fed honeypot. Like, whoopsie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Interesting story for those that are interested in, in OPSEC and trying to remain anonymous, is looking to see how these guys were attempting to do it and learning from their mistakes. Not that you're a criminal or you're looking to do illegal things, but those that are.
A phone in the underworld with a ton of interesting features. Only later the FAA revealed it was secretly running Anom. I'm not aware of the Anom phone. I think Anom. There was a couple phones that had like Anon in the name that ended up being like controlled by the feds at some point with their crappy security chat networks. It's just a bunch of garbage. Interesting
story.
A tweet from @SamuraiDev, running our BTC to XMR swaps over mainnet now. Very nice, very nice.
Very exciting. What is that like? So this is just like right? No, I get that. So they're running our BTC on the mainnet. So that means like they're really close to it. Is it usable now? You could do a BTC to XMR atomic swap through Samurai.
Yeah, looks like they have an internal beta build, but he said over the mainnet. So that means they're actually doing it in the real world and not just on the stage or the testnet. So
I think it's specifically for doxic change. So something about the Samurai Whirlpool, you get some sort of change output that's still like taggable to you, and they're using the atomic swap feature to handle that doxic change. I don't know if like you could use it hypothetically for more. Like, could you use their interface for doing like your entire balance? I don't know, but at a minimum, it's at least for that doxic change reason.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
Right. Okay, that's the use case. Well, baby steps, right? I mean, at some point, though, I don't see why it doesn't just lead to them implementing full-on BTC to XMR atomic swaps if they've gone this far. But I guess
the more liquidity from all places that we get it, the better.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Very true. Very true. And I think that's all. Yeah, that's all I had this week. Not too much.
All right. Better than nothing. I mean, the real story of the week was us being here at Labitconf and getting to talk to everybody, which has been amazing.
How many people are at that conference? It looks really big.
Yeah, it's thousands. It's
amazing.
And like I said, very exciting news that we were able to just talk to one of the founders here, and he seemed very open to collaborating with us for Monerotopia a year from now. So that's tremendous news. That was my whole goal with coming down here, to figure out, number one, does it make sense to do Monerotopia down here? And if we are going to do it, how are we going to get it to work? And that's a big piece of the puzzle. If we're able to kind of use some of Labitconf's network effect to help get the word out on Monerotopia, or tap into the fact that there'll be these thousands of people that are already in Buenos Aires for crypto reasons, it'd be great to do Monerotopia alongside it.
That would be amazing. Monerotopia, Argentina, getting closer to be confirmed. We'll see.
Getting closer. All All right, I guess
It actually-
everybody abandoned me over here. I think went back to got caught up in other things at the conference. I guess we could wrap it up. I mean, we could do a viewers on stage. I don't know if there's anybody that wants to jump on. Let me. Is there anybody
we
waiting
got
to
a
get
few
on?
people.
Yeah, you can run a viewers on stage. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
We don't have to stay on for hours, but might as well.
It's the viewers
And then
on stage
I will get
segment.
back to.
It's that time where we invite you, the viewers, up on stage to comment on anything you've heard so far today, ask the guest a question, or maybe talk about one of the news topics. Come on down.
You know, let's
All
suppose
right.
hypothetically that Millet does win this thing, and let's suppose that he's at least like mostly, you know, who we've seen him so far, right? He hasn't just like.
I think I know where you're going with this, but yeah, go ahead, Bawdy. Yep.
Monerotopia would be the first major crypto conference to happen in Argentina and Buenos Aires after his election. That's big initiative.
Yeah. I mean, imagine we get him as a speaker, right?
Oh hell
That'd be
yeah,
insane.
that would be so cool.
I mean, he's probably going to go talk at Labitconf, but like you said, if he is who he claims to be, he seemed like he'd be really, really open to a Monero, right?
Yeah, because I mean, it's just better. It's what he wants, but better.
Right.
Significantly better.
He wants something that can't be stopped or controlled by the state. He believes in all the things we believe in here with regards to money and state, allowing people to transact freely and privately. So yeah, Bawdy, 100%.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, everyone
you took a maybe you need a Monero quote, like a sticker from Michael Saylor, and then just like slap that on the MicroStrategy sign back there. Maybe you need a Monero.
Yeah, I was gonna do that to CipherTrace until I befriended them. So, but yeah, maybe we could do that to MicroStrategy. That's a good idea.
Anyone in the backstage, if you do want to come up, because there's a few people, just let me know.
Yeah, if anybody wants to jump up,
and I will add you up.
I see Brindle. Maybe Brindle wants to come up. Shortwave is always interested in jumping on.
Fortunately, you don't got Alaskan on today. He had to leave early.
Oh yeah, I was wondering where he is.
All right, we got Brindle.
Hello.
Yeah, move over.
Brindle, what's going on, man?
Not much. Let me just fix my mic because it's
You're a little low. I don't know. Go ahead.
Is it good now?
Yep,
yes, better.
better.
Much better.
All right, but so one thing I heard was that in the Netherlands we have this service called Ideal, which is for like a sort of easy gateway for bank transactions, right? For shops and stuff. And apparently they're going to be used for the digital euro as like a base framework for it. So that's some news from Europe. Just not very nice to hear.
Oh, okay. It's the architecture that they're going to use for running the digital euro.
Indeed, yes. So steady progress for the CBDC of Europe. I'm not looking forward to it.
Christine Lagarde making moves.
Isn't the link of that service? Hold on. It's ideal.nl/en for the English.
What did you guys think of the Aave thing that happened this past week, November 4th?
I think I missed that.
Follow that.
So Aave is obviously like an Ethereum Polygon-based smart contract. They do several different networks, but they basically had a white hat hacker report a kind of bug bounty, basically, that said, hey, there's something wrong with the stable rates on your borrow contracts that could cause problems. So they disabled borrowing of all assets pretty much to fix the problem. And it's still currently disabled, but it should be re-enabled, I think, tomorrow.
What a mess.
Yeah, I mean, if they ever do give up the admin keys to these various layer 2s, they've got the power to do that. I don't think there's a single Ethereum layer 2 at the moment that doesn't have some kind of admin key. I personally think it's basically irresponsible of them to do that. It's still beta. There's still problems like this, but I mean, let's not kid ourselves about what this is. There's the promise, there's the potential, and maybe some of them eventually actually do decentralize, but there's no guarantee of that. So just know what you're playing with if you're in those networks.
Yeah, I'm just using it for lending and borrowing. So basically, I'm just using it to borrow, like put in whatever, and then borrow US dollars against it for things. But I'm obviously not keeping that much in there, just enough. Basically, it's my crypto credit card. I'm just keeping enough in there to borrow what I need and no more.
Right.
Nice.
Very cool.
I know. Oh, no, go ahead.
You got a leg up for sure. Like just playing in that ecosystem, if and when those actually become like viably decentralized and you don't have one person that can just like shut down the network or do things like they just did, you're going to have a leg up on other people just like understanding how to use that network in a way that's beneficial for you. So I think it's cool.
I actually know very little about Ethereum, etc. I should probably look into it more.
I don't know much about Ethereum. The network I've been using is Polygon, but I'm very interested in this asset called DPI, the DeFi Price Index, because of the fact that it's an index of multiple different DeFi projects, and so it should be less volatile than each project individually.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've completely ignored all the DeFi stuff. I'm not saying that that's a smart thing to do, but
no, same here.
My focus has been Monero only. I'm not saying you should be.
Yeah, no, my transaction my day-to-day like transaction currency is Monero, obviously.
Yeah. No, but it's
Monero is my DeFi.
Like Body's saying, it's good to spend time to learn these things for when they are perfected and they offer real value and utility to be ready for.
Yeah, the only time I ever touched Ethereum or any DeFi was for Urbit, for which you needed some kind of coin in order to have like your own Urbit ship, which was like this weird decentralized sort of alternative to the internet kind of thing, yeah, it never really took off as far as I know. I think the project's still around, but
what you do is you take and put like Ethereum or whatever into Aave, and then you borrow dollars and take the dollars and go over to Trocador and switch it to Monero. Or at least that's how I do it.
Brindle, hate to put you on the spot here for a second. Do we have any Nodo updates you could tell us about, or insight into development?
Well, I mean, there's still steady progress. We've got quite a nice UI coming along for the news thing. Lots of technical details on how to set it up properly and all that. Not really too interesting to share, but it's still going. It's still going.
Okay, good.
The Nodo itself is pretty stable, actually. I've been doing a lot of testing. I tried mining, but the thing was crying for help. The T6 will do a much better job at mining. Like, I still have a T4. It barely got enough memory to even get RandomX going, but it works. Oh, and the Light Wallet server also works. So that's cool.
Fantastic.
I tested it with my Monero.
Yeah. We're hoping to, ship these things by January.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, should update the images on the website to show off the new one.
Yeah, Abdullah was supposed to get around for that. Yeah.
There's still 9 Abdullah of the special edition left in stock, guys. Go pre-order one right now.
Yeah, please do. Actually, it helps in a big way. Abdullah might actually head over to China in these last couple of weeks to try to, ensure that everything goes according to plan.
Yeah.
He's going to head over from India to China to the factories where we're getting these, basically the chipsets built.
Hey, have you tried those OOPA bars that you sell, Doug? What do you think of them?
I honestly haven't tried one.
I have tried them. They're actually really good.
You've tried it, right?
Yes, they're pretty good. Especially they made it like better throughout the year too, but it's just like grass-fed beef that's like grinded up, and it's got raw local honey, and then some tallow and butter, and that's the Apex bar. They have one that also comes with like almonds and cranberries, and then they have like a blueberry one. But I just eat the regular one because it actually tastes really good just by itself. It's very simple, just the 4 ingredients, and it's like a really good replacement for, like, let's say you need to go like on a hike or you just need to grab something quickly. You can just grab the OOPA bar, because most like quick bars you would buy just have a bunch of crap in them, and usually they're just nuts. It's like in jerky's not that great. With the OOPA bar, you actually get all the fat.
Does it actually make you feel like decently full, or are you like sitting there like, oh god, I want something else to eat?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a ton of food, right? because it's only like 330 calories, but it's a lot of good beef fat, right? So it's still reasonably
Protein,
satiating.
full amino acid profile. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know why I haven't had them yet, considering and it's like literally right up my alley. Like that's my ideal everyday snack. I just don't know why I haven't done it. We gotta go order them.
Yeah, you should. They have BCC Pay set up, and you can buy it directly with Monero if you want to do that, and you get 10% off just by doing that.
Yeah, and we list them on gratuitous too.
I think we just focus on the coffee.
Yeah,
We just drink a lot of coffee, guys.
just distractions. We got a lot going on, so you end up forgetting about yourself.
And eggs. This one eats a lot of it.
I was going to say, when are the eggs coming?
Yeah, eggs.
Well, they came to me. We have about 200 of them at home because we've been testing. I've been giving them to friends and family, and then we had this trip.
Exaggerating.
How much do they last for you? Like 200 eggs? How many
He
eggs
eats
per
like
day?
5 a day, or even.
We eat like 4 a day.
That's
Actually, no.
fine.
Then
He eats like 5 a day.
Yeah. Well, now that I have all these
you're
eggs,
like the guy
I'm
from The Beauty and the Beast.
yeah.
Gaston.
I'm trying.
Well,
I gotta work out more though. I'm eating the protein. I'm not working out.
He left the eggs with his parents. Yeah, your mom said she used it in a cake. She just texted.
Oh, she did? Yeah, I gave a bunch to my mom. She was okay. But yeah, no, we're not shipping them out to people yet. There's still a few snacks. Everything takes time, guys. As you know, it's hard to get anything out. But I think we've proven we've stayed committed to all our projects, and we always continue to move forward on them. But just everything ends up taking a little bit longer than expected. Speaking of protein, oh my God, Argentina, land of steak, as everybody knows. But
Delicious.
Sounds like my kind of place.
Until you come down here.
Yeah, so yummy.
Except that
we're talking about
what it
pizza
sounds like, nobody can afford it.
for like an hour, and eventually Doug just walked by a window, and said, "No. I want to eat what she's eating."
The most beautiful looking steak sandwich I've ever seen in my life. It was like 11 o'clock at night. It was just like a late night
and
snack.
It was very, very nice.
Yeah.
And it's a good advertisement for Argentina or Buenos Aires in general.
Yeah.
But it's not that common to find like a grill powered by actual coals.
Right.
At 11:30.
It was 11:30 at night. Yeah.
In the night.
And cooking up quality steak. This was like a New York. They call it the chorizo.
Yes, that one was ojo de bife.
Ojo de bife.
It's like the eye of
bife.
it's literally like the eye of the steak.
Yes, you gotta learn your cuts
part
before you come down here, and the names.
It's actually the core of the other.
Right, but the beef de chorizo is the other one.
Yeah,
which confused the hell out of me the first time I came to Argentina because
it has nothing to do with chorizo.
Right,
I don't know why.
I figured it was sausage, so I was like,
it's just a steak.
Meanwhile, it's the New York strip of
I think
Argentina.
It's the New York strip.
Yeah. So lesson to be learned, guys. Bring down fresh $100 bills.
Yes.
And
because
beef de
dollars are not
chorizo
fungible.
is the New York strip.
Dollars are not fungible here.
But yeah, that steak sandwich was amazing, and it was like less than $10.
But it was huge.
And this is in like the most one of the more expensive areas of Buenos Aires.
I think it was like 6,000 something.
Yeah. Like maybe with tip or something. Yeah.
No.
Was it 6?
Yes,
no.
I think it was.
I gave her 8. I ended up giving her.
No,
8. Yeah.
Well, but it still is probably like $8 or $9.
Yeah, $8 or $9 for essentially a full New York strip steak on a roll.
Like 8,000 pesos.
Amazing.
And that was after eating steak for lunch, like a full steak for lunch.
And that would have been what, 8,000 pesos, roughly.
Yeah, that was like 8,000 pesos.
With tip.
Yeah.
God, that sounds. God, I need to move to freaking Argentina. I'd be rich as hell.
Yeah, well, you'll come down here for Monerotopia, and maybe you'll just never go back.
And that is not cheap.
Yes,
you can get cheaper than that.
Guys, is there anything else we want to throw out there? Otherwise, we'll wrap it up and we'll get back to work over here with hooking people up with Monero.
Okay.
Oh, who's that? Want to bring him up?
Do you have something to say?
Who we got here?
Arpu.
Arpu, what's going on? Can you hear us? By the way, guys, anybody's listening, people are always welcome to jump up on stage, whoever you are, as long as you keep it productive, somewhat Monero related. Just don't be a troll, all right? Or talk
Wownero
guys.
Buy Wownero.
If you hear the planes.
Yes, it's like
The
we're
ghost of
right across
Monero plaguing the Monero lands.
Yes, I don't know who that was. All right, so I guess we'll wrap it up. Anybody on stage want to say anything before we close it out?
Well, just one thing I wanted to mention also regarding the Nodo is that I believe Monero, like the base Monero wallet, is going to have built-in support for light wallets, which is actually pretty damn cool. Which also, a question for Andhres is, if that actually comes to Monero, would that also be supported in Monero?
What thing in particular?
The light wallet support, because light wallet support is supposed to be built into. Come again?
If I would be lying. I don't know if we are going to support the light wallet.
Wait, because Brendo, because you're saying it's going to be supported by like the actual client?
The actual official wallet, yes.
Okay.
I believe Jay Berman is working on that.
It's with the new key.
Yes.
Oh, so not the existing.
We
Okay.
tend to follow.
Oh man.
I mean, we do our own like features, of course, but in the case of like adopting stuff, we tend to follow the official wallet pretty close.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
if it's
I mean,
in the GUI or in the command line official Monero wallet, we tend to implement those things.
Yeah, I think that's what the Jamtis key, once it, the upgrade.
Yes.
yeah, I might have misread it then. Okay. Well.
The new and improved view key. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, the Light Wallet server with Nodo, you could run plug and play, get your Nodo up and running in one click, run the Light Wallet server on your Nodo, where you just enter your view key into the Nodo, and then you can connect your Monero wallet to the Nodo and have a Light Wallet experience where the view key is scanning the blockchain. So whenever you open up your wallet, you're not waiting for any syncing to happen. All the syncing happens about, and you don't lose any privacy because the view key you're giving up to a server that you're hosting yourself on the Nodo.
Yep.
Indeed.
We're super excited about that aspect. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Yeah, and we're gonna get back to work, handing out Monero and meeting people.
All right, guys, have fun.
And we're handing out Monero. Yeah, thank you to Cake Wallet.
Oh, Kate! Oh my God! Thank you as always to Vic
for sponsoring the
tremendous
shows,
help.
obviously, and then also, we don't have the banner here as discussed earlier in the
Yes.
episode. You can listen to.
That's not our fault.
It's not our fault, but we are handing out Monero courtesy of Monero. Cake Wallet.
Monero.com by Cake Wallet.
Where we are. I mean, there wouldn't be a Cake Wallet without Monero.
Yeah,
that is true. You guys need more gratuitous.
Thank you,
clearly.
Fluffy Pony, as well.
More what? We need
You guys
more what?
need more. You need more gratuitous. Clearly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we just got our coffee.
We just had coffee.
Yeah,
actually.
not gratuitous, but it's
Thank
very
you
good.
to
Ripio.
Coffee.
Very good coffee.
Very good coffee.
Yeah, I guess with that, guys, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Ciao,
Cheerios,
guys.
my
Thank
friend.
you so much, everybody.
All right.
Later, guys.
Close it out.
Thank you for joining us on this week's Monerotopia episode. We stream live shows every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can find and subscribe to our show on YouTube and Odyssey, or listen to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or Stitcher. Don't forget to